to 30. By 62 points, they beat Crescent Valley. That's alarming.
Yeah, it really is. This Churchill team, no question, they're very, very good. Now, that win against Silverton was a Silverton team without Zach Gingler, so that certainly would make a difference. But my son Perry was up there scouting that game and said that, Churchill, they're the real deal. And we knew they were. They were a state team last year. Got to watch them down at Matt Knight Arena. They're certainly a quality team. They're going to do it with a lot of pressure, and they're in your face, full court pressure with their guards. They're small, they're quick, and they really get after you defensively. They count on those turnovers. Turnovers are a point of emphasis this year for the Bulldogs. Passing and turnovers, trying to limit the number of times that you give up possessions and give the other team opportunities to score. I think that we will see a much improved West Albany basketball team, in particular against this Churchill Lancer team, just because West Albany, the things that they have been emphasizing, spring, summer, and then practice here this winter, definite point of emphasis to quit turning the ball over. That was a game you and I walked away from last season thinking that's a game we probably should have won. Way too many turnovers. I think that we're going to see improvement in that regard.
We will talk a little bit more about what to expect from the Bulldogs this season. It feels like a season opener. It is for us on the air. It's not for West on the floor. They are one of 3 3-0 teams in the state of Oregon. Not a lot of teams have played 3 games in 5A, but West has. They've won all 3. Churchill has won their 2. It is a matchup of top 5 teams here tonight, and we'll talk more about the home team, the team we care about, West Albany, after this timeout at 9:20 KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
Unforgettable 920.
And welcome back to West Albany High School, getting set for a tip tonight between Churchill and West Albany. For the Bulldogs, this is a season that began with much optimism, much anticipation. Last year, the best finish in the Mid-Willamette Conference under head coach Todd Zimmerman, now beginning his 6th year here at West. They were 9-5 in the Mid-Willamette, and in back-to-back years, they've been within a game of going to the state tournament. A lot of people feel that this is the year that West Albany really makes a huge leap forward. They have a lot of returning talent, namely in the brothers Sherwood, but also an imposing force inside. When you combine the outside game of Chad Sherwood, kind of the all-around athleticism of Nate Sherwood, and the post play of Jalen Schlegel, that's a pretty good triangle to get things started.
No question. And no question that expectations are very high for this West Albany Bulldog team this year. Come in with a lot of experience. They've got a lot of seniors on this squad, and they've been pointing to this and saying, okay, this is our best shot right here. No question. Bulldogs are relatively healthy. They've got that huge presence, 6'8", 6'8", 6'6". You've got Chad Sherwood who can light it up from anywhere. He will slash to the basket as well. In fact, that's where he's probably at his best. Slash into the basket, and then you've got the floor general, Sawyer Reed, who, in watching him against Union the other day, started off both halves with threes. He could dice you with the dribble, and he will play solid defense, but he manages the game very, very well. Sawyer Reed's impressive in the first few games.
It was painful last year to see the senior point guard, Jackson Metzger, go down with the injury, and ironically, Jackson just walked by here a few moments ago. He's in the building. It was painful to see him go down, but now as you embark on this season, it was encouraging to see Sawyer Reed get so much varsity experience last year. All those times that he had to start, in fact, I believe his first varsity start was in the game up at Silverton in league play when West Albany was starting the Mid-Willamette Conference. He's got now a full year of league play under his belt, and as a senior point guard, much will be expected of him.
No question about it. And both ends of the floor, too. You know, you think of the point guard as being the one out there, being the floor general and making sure things offensively go well. But he's got a key role to play defensively, too. A lot of times he's going to be playing the man, bringing the ball up the floor. He sets the tone defensively up top. Sawyer Reed certainly gets that done.
Churchill is the opponent tonight for West Albany. I found this kind of ironic. Now, of course, we did the football broadcast all season long. Our season began for us on the final day of August in Pendleton. The season for West Albany ended up at Silverton on what was a frustrating night, certainly for the Bulldogs on the field, and a frustrating night for us doing the broadcast. Anybody who was with us knows that we had all sorts of technical problems that night. So after we made the long trip home from Silverton, I got home, I was a little bit tired, and I thought, you know what? I just need a beverage. Now, I'm of age. I was at my home. I wasn't going anywhere. So that beverage happened to be Pendleton, the whiskey. And it occurred to me, we started the season in Pendleton, and I finished the season with Pendleton. Now, I'm hoping for a not dissimilar kind of symmetry to this basketball season. We begin the year with a team from Eugene. The ultimate goal is to end the season in Eugene, and that's where the 5A state tournament will be held.
I tell you, the kind of stuff you can only get from Radio Ryan on these broadcasts, that's beautiful right there. And I didn't know about the Pendleton story. I was not remembering that's how you finish the season off. Probably, I would think maybe 2 or 3 were in order after that night. Frustrating night all the way around. But we won't dwell on the finish to the football season.
No.
Congratulations, Silverton, who did go on to lose the next week against Sherwood, and Sherwood goes on for a state title. So, but congratulations to West Albany football for the great season that they did have, and we'll hope for great things in our season number 9 next year.
Yes, and a tremendous accolade for Jake Lacoste, and it's something that I'll bring up at halftime. We have sort of a couple final honors to give out from the fall season, and a big honor for Jake Lacoste. We'll talk about that at halftime. Now, while you've had an opportunity to see this team a couple times so far this year, I have not. We've talked about basically the main 4 in the brothers Sherwood, Schlegel, and Reed. Tell us about some of the newcomers and what you've seen so far in the first couple of games, some of the new faces.
Well, certainly you have to talk about Cameron Dixon, who really, I thought, the game, I've only seen 2 of the 3 see the Grants Pass game. But Cameron Dixon certainly has distinguished himself among that group of reserves, one of the first few off the bench, and really has we've known him as a leaper, we know him as a true athlete, but really I think his basketball skills are really starting to show. And he's slashing to the basket. He could jump out of the gym, so rebounding is no problem for him. Defensively, I think he's really come along as well. Brady Young has played well coming off the bench, certainly. Keaton Bader, you got to remember that first game against McKay, West Albany didn't have Jalen Schlegel.
Right.
And so Keaton Bader started that game and I thought played very, very well. He was controlled, he was composed, and really crashed the boards hard. I've been impressed with Keaton Bader coming off the bench, starting that game at coming off the bench. And you start looking down the list, and Jesse Berkey, he can come in and light it up at any time. He's just waiting for his moments to shine coming out. But that's, certainly those are the ones I would look to as the first few off the bench to give quality minutes. I'll tell you one other one that really has impressed me. Watched him a little bit in the JV game tonight and watched him in action in those 2 games, varsity games I did get to see, and that's Isaiah Edwards. I tell you, he's got long arms, and he appears to be unstoppable in the middle. Great post moves, no intimidation. He just really has impressed. Played freshman ball last year, and I know that they thought his improvement over the course of the season was just really something special. That has continued on as he's getting quality varsity minutes. Wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe 1 or 2 off the bench.
It's a long season, and a lot of things have to go right in order to make a state tournament. But just when you look at the way the roster is constructed, you look at the experience that they have, and a little bit of height, a little bit of shooting, some strong rebounding. I mean, there are a lot of elements there that lead you to believe that this could be a very special year for West Albany basketball. We will hope for that as our broadcast season commences here tonight against the Churchill Lancers. Tip-off just a few moments away from West Albany, so we'll step away for a break and continue along with Bulldog Hoops tonight on KSHO.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Lynn, you're in.
920 KSHO.
Back here at West Albany High School, about a week later than we wanted to be, but we start our broadcast schedule tonight with a very, very strong game. Churchill and West Albany tonight from West Albany High. The freshmen and the JVs for West Albany, both victorious already tonight. The JVs, I know, in a rout. I didn't catch the freshman score from it. How did that wind up?
Score was
You're still looking fabulous.
And had a big early lead, let some of it back, but then ended up finishing strong. So they go to 2-0. They weren't part of the holiday or the inaugural Bulldog tournament leading off the season here. So only 2 games under the freshman belt, and but 2-0 and looking strong.
What I do know about the freshmen is that they are very well coached. A familiar name leading the freshmen this year.
Great to see Perry get his chance, and a couple of years as an assistant. Last year, a freshman assistant under Everett Hartman, and Perry's getting his shot here. And nice way to start a season at 2-0. But very proud of Perry and him stepping into that role, and I think he's going to be very, very good in that role.
Does that still give you a chance to get to a practice every now and then?
Yes, I've got.
It's hard to break away.
I have participated in 1. I've watched 2, and but he did ask me to come and work with the bigs a little bit, which was a lot of fun for me. No pressure for me, just try and impart a little bit of wisdom. Spent half an hour with him and had a great time. It's a good group. He's got a very solid group of athletes there with the freshman team. Coach Zimmerman kept the freshmen all intact with the exception of J.J. Stewart, who is playing JV and playing very, very well.
There were a couple of standout players in the JV game. I was really impressed with Ben Potter, a sophomore wing, who had just a couple of tremendous moves you don't usually see in a JV game. So there's maybe a bright future for West Albany in addition to a very bright present. As we look down and see Dean Roberts, the former West Albany coaching legend, he is here talking to Churchill's head coach Kelly Book. And this is the year I think that Coach Zimmerman really hopes maybe to emerge from the shadow of Dean Roberts. There has been steady improvement from the West Albany program. Last year to 17 wins, 17-8, 9-5 in the Mid-Willamette Conference. Had to go down and play, I won't say an impossible, but an incredibly difficult game at Eagle Point. Hostile environment, long trip. West Albany was really in it right up until the end. The year prior to that, a heartbreaking defeat at Wilsonville that kept the Bulldogs from going to the state tournament. 1 game away in each of the last 2 years. The Mid-Willamette Conference has always been strong. Corvallis is there. They're a 2-time defending state champion, but maybe down a little bit with the loss of a lot of people to graduation. I'll say it one more time. I've said it several times during the pregame, but this kind of feels like the year where maybe it's there for the taking.
Yeah, I think that's certainly the case. And Silverton, Corvallis, West Albany certainly expected to be right there at the top and fighting it out for the title. This Churchill team ends up playing. Their first 4 games are against Mid-Willamette Conference teams. We're going to have a pretty good gauge of what the league is based on how they do against Churchill.
Right. Yeah, Churchill may be petitioning for entry into the Mid-Willamette Conference. They will know where they stand in this league very, very soon. We're going to take a timeout and get our national anthem as Bill reads the code of conduct here from the OSAA. We're just about set for tip-off tonight. We'll meet our starting lineups and get our anthem. So let's step aside. We'll take one final pregame timeout and continue on KSHO.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations of the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany: Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
Lynn Lane's in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
The place to bowl is Lynn Lane's Bowling Center on South Main Road in Lebanon. And the people are real nice. And the Head Pin Restaurant, I'd go there even if the bowling alley wasn't attached.
Good family fun. Bowling.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Well, as we have the performance of the national anthem, it is a piped-in version here tonight. The band is not in attendance, as they will be several times throughout the league season. They always ask when the national anthem begins, gentlemen, please remove your hats. I looked opposite us. John Birchfield removed his wig for the national anthem, and I wish. It's one of those nights where we wish that we had a video portion, because John Birchfield is dressed up like Jackie Moon, Will Ferrell's character from the movie Semi-Pro, from head to toe. He's got the wig. He's got the full Miami Tropics warm-up uniform on. He's ready to go.
He has outdone himself with this one. I tell you, I missed the cape, but this is quite the look for John.
John Birchfield's brother Joe had himself a very nice JV game in addition to several of his teammates. You can't always tell a lot from a JV game, but Churchill has high expectations this year. This may be the year they want to get it done. By watching the JVs play, it doesn't appear as though there's a lot of depth behind the varsity.
Well, that's right. And we knew last year, watching their freshmen last year, how bad that team was. You look at the roster up and down here for Churchill, only 2 sophomores, which is indicative of how poor that freshman class was coming up. But only 2 sophomores on the entire Churchill roster here. So certainly you're right. They want to get it done, and they feel like they can. You can tell just by how they come out with warm-up that they're a confident group. West Albany, right off the bat, they have to be able to take the pressure, the full court pressure. It'll be man-to-man pressure. They'll come trap occasionally, but it'll be man-to-man pressure, and they just get in your face, and they are super, super quick. West Albany, if they can beat the press, they can beat Churchill.
We talked about the West Albany experience. A lot of experience for Churchill, too. Several names in their starting lineup that we remember from last year. Emmanuel Morgan is their ringleader, the point guard, 5'6" senior. David Shedrick out on the wing, a 6'3" junior. Malik Morgan at the other guard, a 5'10" junior. Kedron Johnson in the front court, a 6'6" senior. And Andrew Smith joins him, a 6'3" junior. For West Albany, all 5 in their starting lineup with starting experience. Sawyer Reed, the 5'10" senior. Chad Sherwood, a 6'2" senior. His brother Nate, the 6'8" now junior. Jalen Schlegel, 6'8" senior. And Josh Bryant, 6'6" senior. Ball in the air in center circle, and the tip controlled by Churchill as Emmanuel Morgan will lob it quickly underneath for Kedron Johnson, and he is fouled going up by Jalen Schlegel. In the first 6 seconds, a shooting foul, and certainly not something you want to see, an early foul on Jalen Schlegel.
Oh, that's absolutely right. And boy, I tell you, Churchill putting the pressure on right away. They knew it. They had intent right there from the start as they got the possession on the jump ball. Nice play.
Emmanuel Morgan lobbing it from near midcourt underneath for Kedron Johnson, who puts in the first free throw. And the first point of the night to Churchill in their traveling Royal Blues. West Albany, their home whites. Johnson prepares his second free throw, also good. 2-0 Churchill, just underway as the Lancers do put in the full court pressure. A lob into Jalen Schlegel. Better than a foot over Emmanuel Morgan. He pulls it in, gets it to front court to Sawyer Reed. Now off to Nate Sherwood, into the cutting Jalen Schlegel, spinning into contact, and we're going to get a foul underneath on Churchill.
It's going to be a vocal night, isn't it? I tell you, well-traveled student section from Churchill tonight. West Albany student section always very, very vocal, but we've got them immediately to our left, the Churchill students. Non-shooting foul on that.
Foul went on Kedron Johnson, his first, and the Lancers first, as Nate Sherwood takes it on the inbound. Out to Chad Sherwood. Now straight away Sawyer Reed. Down low Josh Bryant. Backing in on Shedrick. High off the window. Around and off. No good. And a rebound to Shedrick. Off to the right for Malik Morgan. Crossing over. Down to the blocks. Ran right into Chad Sherwood and turned it over. Bryant's got it. Up to Chad. Far up the right side for Sawyer Reed. As West pushes the tempo. Chad Sherwood around the high screen from Bryant. All the way left of the lane. Little fake jumper off the window and in, and West is on the board.
Intended to pass that, and then the defender backed off of him, able to put it soft off glass. Chad Sherwood with the first bucket of the night for the Bulldogs.
2-2 as Malik Morgan hands off to David Shedrick up high. Now way back left for Emmanuel Morgan, working on Sawyer Reed. Hesitation dribble. Back out to Kedron Johnson. To the right, Andrew Smith. Right corner, Malik Morgan. Head and shoulder fake on Chad Sherwood. Left corner, Malik Morgan. Now Shedrick, a long three, and it's good from David Shedrick. His father, Juan, a former Oregon fullback, in attendance here tonight, as David gives Churchill a 5-2 lead. Sawyer Reed on an entry pass, threw it away. A little too far out in front of Jalen Schlegel. And the first Bulldog turnover.
Well, and Bulldogs did a good job of trying to beat the press with the pass. They were very patient on that, and then a little impatient once they got into the front court there. Got to be patient against this stellar defense of Churchill.
Emmanuel Morgan and Malik Morgan play catch. Now back to David Shedrick, right wing. To Emmanuel Morgan, picked up by Nate Sherwood. Into the right corner for Johnson. Back out to Emmanuel Morgan. Back to the left for Malik. High post. Johnson, free throw. Jumper is good, and it's 7-2 Churchill early. A little less than 2 minutes gone by, but the Lancers off to the quick start. And pressure in front court as Nate Sherwood gets rid of it to Josh Bryant. Now to Jalen Schlegel at the foul line. Backing in on Malik Morgan. Has to pick up the dribble. Drops underneath for Chad and turned it over. Tipped by Shedrick to Malik Morgan. Up ahead, it's Shedrick underneath. Pinned by Nate Sherwood. Blocked by Nate. Gets it right back. Goes up and scores, and it's 9-2 Churchill. Now the Lancers, who beat the Raiders by 62, Crescent Valley in the season opener, an early 7-point lead. Jalen Schlegel gets it to Sawyer Reed, and the Bulldogs need to settle. Chad Sherwood, high out on the right side. Couple of dribbles. Goes down to the baseline for Nate Sherwood. Inside, Josh Bryant held on the catch. And a Churchill foul will allow West Albany to inbound underneath.
You know, Bulldogs like to play at a fast pace, Ryan. No question about it. Play fast, but don't be in a hurry. Churchill almost forces you into that hurriedness, that frantic pace. West can't fall for it.
Emmanuel Morgan on the foul. Now off the inbound, Jalen Schlegel spinning his way in. Finger rolls it in with the right hand. Nifty footwork from Jalen Schlegel. He gets a bucket as now David Shedrick blasts through Nate Sherwood with no foul. On the loose ball, Andrew Smith gets it. A corner three is good. Churchill might have gotten away with the charge, and out of the scrum they get a three to lead by 8.
Boy, did they get away with the charge.
Nate for 3 the other way. That's back rim it off. Rebound Malik Morgan. Malik all the way right of the key in for a layup, just sprinting down the floor. It's 14-4, now a steal. Emmanuel Morgan, his jumper's no good. Chad Sherwood a rebound and a timeout. Boy, Churchill frantic on both ends of the floor. They lead 14-4 with 4:56 to go in the first quarter. We'll keep it here.
This team, this Churchill team, we knew that they'd be solid, but you just have to be patient. Bulldogs, it's 14-4, and you'd think, wow, how did it get to this point? The Bulldogs just have to settle right now, and they have to be just a little bit more patient on the offensive end. Start working your outside in and then your inside out. What I mean by that is trying to get it into your bigs. You go 6'8", 6'8", 6'6". You have to start trying to work the ball to the inside. Get the ball to the high post where good things are always going to happen. West Albany having trouble with their entry passes here. Trying to be a little too dicey with the passes, I think. If they just settle and get the ball into the high post, then they're going to be able to go maybe some high-low things and work that size to their advantage.
You don't figure West Albany wants to get in a track meet with Churchill here tonight, and that's the way it started out. The Lancers a 10-point lead with 4:52 to go in the first. West out of the timeout, facing the full court pressure. Nate Sherwood in backcourt, lost the handle, needs to get it across the timeline. It's deflected and stolen by Malik Morgan. Inside to Andrew Smith. A head and shoulder fake, missed the layup. Rebound David Shedrick. He misses in close, and a rebound to Nate Sherwood. Up to Chad Sherwood, sprinting up the right sideline. Whipped underneath for Schlegel. Layup and a foul. And Jalen Schlegel puts it in. A chance for 3 and a much-needed Bulldog hoop.
Boy, that's a huge hoop there on the whip pass from Chad Sherwood. Saw him beautifully. And how about the hands of Jalen Schlegel to be able to bring that in and then put it softly off glass. That's a talent right there.
That foul on Malik Morgan, his first, the Lancers' third. As Schlegel free throw on its way and good. Very good touch from the big man at the line. 14-7, Churchill by 7 with 4.5 to go in the first. Malik Morgan bringing it into front court. No pressure. Eyes up. Angling right with the dribble. Chad Sherwood all over him. As Malik Morgan pushes left for Emmanuel Morgan. Coach Zimmerman put up the hand with the 5 count.
Yeah, boy, it had to be close.
As the pass goes underneath to Shedrick, to Smith. Now back up top, Malik Morgan inside the foul line. Teardrop in and out, no good. Rebound fought for underneath, and we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow to West. Sawyer Reed able to tie it up underneath with Malik Morgan, and the Bulldogs will get it back down 7.
And what a smart play that was by Sawyer Reed. He was in that spot and knew the probabilities are where that ball's going to come off the rim. Nice play by Sawyer. Gets the tie up, and Bulldogs have the ball.
Pressure again applied as off a screen. Sawyer Reed gets the catch into the middle. Pass is tipped and stolen. Benyon drops it underneath for Andrew Smith. Smith misses and is tipped out of bounds. Last touch by West Albany. Andrew Benyon is the Benyon in question just into the game. First sub of the game for Churchill. as the Lancers will inbound underneath. Benyon plays it in to Emmanuel Morgan. To the top for Kedron Johnson. Left for Andrew Smith. Open three. Bingo. Third triple of the night for the Lancers. We're only midway through the first quarter. Back to a 10-point game, 17-7. As Sawyer Reed lobs it ahead for Jalen Schlegel. On the catch all the way in. Finger roll, no, but a foul. As Kedron Johnson picks up his second foul, bumping Jalen Schlegel from behind. 2 free throws coming as Jake Mather will check in, I'm sure, for Kedron Johnson.
Good vision by quarterback here. Sawyer Reed is the long court pass down to Jalen Schlegel. Again, soft hands, brings it in. Not able to get the bucket to go. But draws 2 shots.
Schlegel's first free throw, back rim and off, no good.
Ryan, defensively for Churchill, what they do so well with their quick hands and their quick feet is if they don't get the steal from the front side, they'll try and come around from back behind, and they swarm to the ball so well. Defensively, they're creating already a bunch of turnovers.
Second free throw from Schlegel is perfect. 17-8 Churchill, 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Jake Mather having come in for Kedron Johnson. He's got good size, a 6'5" senior. As Emmanuel Morgan angles left with the dribble on the back cut, threw it away, past David Shedrick and out of bounds. West will get it back as the first Bulldog sub will be Keaton Bader, of whom of whom Wally spoke highly of in the pregame. Keaton Bader, the first sub here for the Bulldogs. 6'4" senior. As he inbounds and turns it over to Mather underneath it. Smith with an open layup. Churchill has their biggest lead. 3:28 to go in the first. They lead by 11 on an outlet. Nate Sherwood all the way to the rim. Slam dunk and a foul. Nate Sherwood, that won't be the last time we'll see that this year. Throwing it down as John Birchfield sprints out of control up the sideline. Superfan John is on his way to the locker room.
Oh, my. And Nate Sherwood, I tell you, he can throw it down with authority.
Nate misses the free throw, the highlight of the night so far, but missing the chance for three. It's a 9-point Churchill lead, 19-10. Off to the right it goes to David Shedrick. Nate Sherwood all over him. To the top for Smith, now left for Emmanuel Morgan. Morgan, the lefty, scanning the defense, gives to Smith, into the corner for Benyon. Hounded by Bader, drives the baseline, kicks it out to David Shedrick. A three over Chad Sherwood is no good, and a rebound to Jalen Schlegel, who then throws it away in the backcourt. Maybe he felt the pressure coming and tried to throw behind Sawyer Reed a little too much. Out of bounds it goes.
You know, after a while, Ryan, with this defensive pressure, it's not just the pressure, it's the threat of the pressure. It's almost a little bit intimidating, and so you try and make passes that maybe you wouldn't normally make. That's the case on that one right there, is Jalen Schlegel trying to get it in, trying to get it to Sawyer Reed. Ends up throwing it into the first row.
Brendan Nesbitt into the game for Churchill. Nesbitt gets it in his hands, out on the right wing, skips it left for Emmanuel Morgan for three, rejected by Chad Sherwood, and out of bounds. Well, Emmanuel Morgan is 5'6", and Chad Sherwood is 6'2", with a lot of hops, and that almost seems unfair. But Chad rejects that one back into the Bulldog students. And Churchill will inbound up 9 with 2:45 to go in the first. We will revisit the John Birchfield reaction to Nate Sherwood's dunk here at the next break. Another time where we wish we had video on the broadcast. It's into the corner. Brendan Nesbitt comes back up top for Emmanuel Morgan. Picks up the deflected pass. Goes back for Nesbitt on the left wing.
And the Bulldogs have changed up the defense, going a little bit matchup zone.
And a pass is tipped up ahead to Chad Sherwood. Racing to the goal. Got it with the right hand. Out ahead of the pack. Had to adjust the shot, but put it in. It's back down to 7, 19-12. In the middle it goes. Mather off glass and in. Strong off the window, but got a friendly roll off front rim. 21-12, Churchill.
Matchup zone has slowed down Churchill's offense. Slowed them down offensively there. That time, though, they get the quick bucket.
Chad Sherwood held by Andrew Benyon as he put on a head and shoulder fake. Churchill picks up another personal foul at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Subs in for West Albany. Josh Bryant will return. Brandon Dixon in for the first time. Bader is out, so is Sawyer Reed.
Sawyer Reed's not going to be able to get very long of a break here. They have to have him on the floor as much as possible against this quickness of Churchill.
Brandon Dixon, a 6'1" senior, on the floor for the first time tonight as the pass is knocked away and stolen. Nesbitt took it away from Bryant. Up ahead to Benyon, racing to the goal. Up and under, blocked by Chad Sherwood. His second block. Out of bounds it goes. It'll stay with Churchill. But Chad Sherwood able to erase another shot underneath. Churchill continuing to lead by 9, 21-12, 1:50 to go in the first quarter. Benyon gets it into Mather. Mather trying to back down. Jalen Schlegel gets to the blocks, kicks it out. Andrew Smith, an open three. Back rim, no good. Rebound, Jalen Schlegel. Clearing it, now going to bring it up the floor himself. Off to the left for Nate Sherwood, underneath for Josh Bryant. Had it knocked away and stolen by Benyon. Just couldn't get the handle going up. Up ahead to Emmanuel Morgan on the left wing. Brandon Dixon, a good closeout on him. As Morgan will dribble it all the way back near the midcourt stripe with 1:23 to go in the quarter. Morgan fakes the handoff, now drives just inside the arc. Back to Benyon. Over to Nesbitt as the Lancers work it around the perimeter. Back right to left to Emmanuel Morgan.
Brandon Dixon working really hard. He's got those long arms there. You like him defensively out up top.
Churchill, who's been running at a frantic pace throughout the first quarter, now slowing it down. With 1 minute to play in the first, Morgan still out near midcourt, gets to Nesbitt. And Nesbitt back and forth on Jalen Schlegel, hands it right back to the senior point guard, Emmanuel Morgan. Kelly Boken on the Churchill bench, holding up the fist, calling out the play. A high screen for Emmanuel Morgan, driving into the paint, kicking it to the corner for Benyon. Back out to Smith, another open three, and it's good again. Great ball movement resulting in an open three, and Churchill leads by a dozen. 24-12, near the half-minute mark of the first quarter. In front court, it's Chad Sherwood. Bodied up by Benyon, too strong. A foul on Benyon. As Chad Sherwood, no, what are they calling here? Okay, yeah, they're calling Benyon for our official here. It looked like he was putting up 3 fingers. I thought he was going to call something on Nate Sherwood. Maybe he's just pointing out that Chad will be the free throw shooter. That is the 7th team foul.
Already in the bonus, Bulldogs will be shooting free throws the rest of this half. 29 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Bulldogs trailing 24-12.
Remember, West Albany picked up a foul 6 seconds into the game. They've not picked one up since.
They've been chasing Churchill the whole quarter.
Churchill lighting it up from outside here in the first. Chad Sherwood, 1-1, free throw up, no good. Back rim. And a rebound chase down by Malik Morgan with 25 seconds to go in the first. Up ahead to Andrew Smith, off to the right for Nesbitt. Back to Smith, to Malik Morgan, to Emmanuel Morgan with 18 seconds to go in the quarter.
This mismatch.
Yeah, Emmanuel matched up again with Schlegel, now met on a switch by Brandon Dixon. So Emmanuel Morgan back and forth up top with a 5 count in effect. Gets a little bit of space to reset it and hands off to Malik Morgan with 5 seconds in the corner. Morgan to the corner. Nesbitt, a block again, and a huge block by Chad Sherwood, who sends it flying out of bounds. His 3rd block of the quarter, and that one the most emphatic. Still 1.8 to go.
Can't celebrate too much.
No,
1.8 to go here.
Still has possession. Into Emmanuel Morgan. Got free for 3. No good. Off to the right. But an impressive opening frame from Churchill. At the end of 1, the Lancers 24, the Bulldogs 12. We'll take a break and return to KSHO.
Willamette Community Bank is proud to support local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders. With branches in Albany and Lebanon, Willamette Community Bank. Service like no other, we promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Taking a detour down a gravel road isn't fun for you or your tires. Luckily at Les Schwab, along with great prices, all of our car or pickup tires come with the kind of protection most other places don't give you, like free flat repairs and more. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Figaro's in Albany now has the Ultimate Super Combo and the Ultimate Super Meat, only $16.99 or $17.99 baked. Albany Figaro's in front of Fred Meyer. And ask about their gluten-free crust, 541-924-9303.
Unforgettable 920.
Start of the second quarter here tonight from West Albany High School. Churchill leading West 24-12. In a start really not unlike the game last year when Churchill got off to a big early lead. Now West Albany clawed back in that one. They'll try to do the same tonight as Cam Dixon is on the floor to start the second quarter, guarding Malik Morgan and being called for a foul. As he guards Malik Morgan is Cam Dixon. Second foul on West Albany. And Churchill will inbound underneath.
Sorry, Ryan. 2 or 3 players for Churchill can take the ball up the top of the key. Then there's a high screen set for them. They just little hesitation dribble, and then they go up with it.
Nesbitt, a series of fakes inside. He's blocked by Josh Bryant. Another block for the Bulldogs, and West Albany has it. With Sawyer Reed into front court. Off to the corner for Cameron Dixon. To the top for Nate Sherwood. Nesbitt there to challenge the pass as Nate skips his way inside, goes off the window. No, but a foul. And a couple of free throws coming here for Nate Sherwood. Nate now listed at 6'8", and a junior. I know he threw down a big dunk in the McKay game. I heard about that. He's already got one here tonight. And his first dunk sent John Birchfield, who's in the front row of the bleachers opposite us, sprinting down the far sideline all the way to the far left, back all the way to the right, out the door, up the stairs to the upper level near where our KSHO banner is hanging opposite us, and back to his seated position as Nate puts in the first free throw.
I got to tell you, I coached John Birchfield off and on for 3 years. I've never seen him run that fast.
Great hustle from John, again wearing that afro wig tonight.
It busted everybody in the place up. That was hilarious.
Second free throw to come for Nate Sherwood, on its way and in and out. No good. A rebound to Jake Mather, and Churchill has it back, leading by 11, 7:20 to go in the half. Emmanuel Morgan with it on the right wing, guarded by Reed, around a pick, left for Mather, just inside the arc, picking up the dribble. To the right for Nesbitt. Right corner it goes, Malik Morgan. Chad Sherwood moving the feet, good D on Morgan, who looked like he slid his foot. No whistle as Morgan gets it back out to Andrew Smith. Off to Emmanuel Morgan, down low for Mather. Schlegel poked it away, but Smith got it back. Fake the three, comes to the right for Nesbitt, back to Emmanuel Morgan, an open three. This one's way off to the left, and a rebound for Jalen Schlegel. On the run comes Jalen, the point forward, kicking it off to the right for Nate Sherwood. Back out to Chad Sherwood, a skip to the left for Sawyer Reed. The Bulldogs have not had an opportunity to get a lot of sets in this game. There's another turnover. Mather gets it the other way, fouled on his way in. He'll shoot a couple of free throws. Another steal from Churchill. Now, Jeff Kiter is with us keeping stats. Wally takes a glance to see how many turnovers. 9. 9 already here in the half for West. Last year, I know it got into the 20s. I don't think it got to 30.
No, I do. I think it was 30-plus last year. Because I think we were just blown away by how many times West could throw the ball away.
Jake Mather missing on the first free throw.
You feel for Jalen Schlegel on this back end here where this last turnover where Sawyer Reed was trying to get it to Jalen. Jalen had posted up, but he had his weight going one direction, the ball thrown the other. As a big man, that's a very difficult catch to make. Sawyer knew it right away, too. He just didn't put it in the right spot. Came down the other way and shooting, too.
Mather good on his second free throw, and he comes out. Kedron Johnson back in with the 2 fouls. A 12-point lead for Churchill, 25-13, as Jalen Schlegel spins into front court, trying to go all the way in. Finger rolls it in. Nifty move to get around Malik Morgan, who was waiting to take the charge. And Jalen Schlegel never made any contact. He went right around him. It's back to 10, 25-15, as Churchill brings it up with Emmanuel Morgan. Lightning quick is the left-handed point guard as he drives all the way in. Kicks it out to Andrew Smith. A three on its way. Banks it in. Sometimes you wonder if it's going to be that kind of night. Andrew Smith has been red hot. That was a wild shot, and he banked it in from a tough angle.
Yeah, and I love every time he's making a shot now, he's turning around and staring at his defender. I just love that as a coach.
28-15 Churchill. Chad Sherwood in, scooping it to Jalen Schlegel. Waits for traffic to clear, goes up. And they're going to say a foul before the shot. He put in the layup, but they'll wipe it off, and Jalen will shoot a 1-and-1. It's on Kedron Johnson. That's 3 on him. But Churchill has shown that they have the depth inside, but that probably won't hurt him a whole lot. Jake Mather will check back in. Very quick breather for Mather. Johnson will take a seat, and Jalen Schlegel will shoot a 1-and-1.
Kedron Johnson, the tallest player listed on the Churchill roster, save for one,
right,
who we haven't seen yet, but he's 7 feet.
Matt Hayashi is the young man's name. Rail thin, but 7 feet tall. There's Jalen Schlegel missing the front end of the 1-and-1 and a rebound for Churchill. The Lancers lead by 13, 5:42 to go in the first half. Andrew Smith, a corner three, back rim this time, and a long rebound chased down by Emmanuel Morgan. The bounce is going Churchill's way as Morgan into the corner. Shedrick a three. That's around and off, no good. And it tips into the hands of Nate Sherwood. Up ahead to Jalen Schlegel. Emmanuel Morgan trying to poke it free. Schlegel spins away. Kicks it out to Reed, who fakes the three. Comes back to Jalen. Inside for Bryant. Touch pass Nate Sherwood. Blocked and fouled. 2 shots coming for Nate. Fouled on the way up as David Shedrick will be called for the foul.
All ball with the block, but total body, and that's an absolute correct call as it sends Nate Sherwood to the line for 2.
10th team foul on Churchill. West Albany a big advantage with free throw attempts. Now they need to start cashing in, and Nate Sherwood misses the first free throw.
You know, fatigue has a lot to do with missed free throws, Ryan, and you got to remember to use your legs on these free throws. Nate looked a little bit straight up and down on that last free throw. Got to bend the knees. Fatigue comes into play, especially early in the season. That was better.
Yep, Nate good on the second. Jalen Schlegel checking out in between free throws. Cameron Dixon back out on the floor. 28-12 Churchill, 5:15 to go first half. Malik Morgan around a high screen into the corner for Shedrick. Back to Malik Morgan on the left wing. Chad Sherwood dances out on him. Another high screen. Morgan uses it. One hands it back to his brother Emmanuel out on the right side. Morgan making a pass, guarded by Reed. Got around Reed. Goes all the way inside. Tries to scoop to the corner, and it's knocked away out of bounds by Chad Sherwood. It'll stay with Churchill, but Chad able to get his hands on another pass inside. As we're going to whistle in a timeout, a 30-second timeout. And we'll stay here with 4:55 to go in the first half, 28-16 Churchill. I was surprised by this, Wally, looking at the Lancers' recent history, and I do this a lot of times preparing for games. Look at what's gone on the last few years. Churchill, in the 6 years that the reclassification has been in effect, that being the 6 levels, in 6 years of that, they have won 20 games 3 times. And you don't think of Churchill as being one of the elite teams in 5A, but 20 wins 3 times. There aren't that many teams that have done that in 5A. Wilsonville has done it 5 times. Corvallis has done it 4. Nobody else has done it more than Churchill, who's done it 3 times.
Isn't that something? I wouldn't have guessed that either, and that's great research right there. I wouldn't have thought that. I knew that maybe a little bit softer conference down there down in the South, but still, that's quite an accomplishment over the course of 3 seasons.
Been to the state tournament 3 times. Got a 4th-place trophy back at the end of the 2006-2007 season. They lost in both of their games the other 2 times they've gone. So Malik Morgan gets it into Emmanuel Morgan. 12-point Lancer lead, 4:50 to go in the first half. Andrew Smith gets it to Malik Morgan. Back to Emmanuel Morgan. Back to Malik Morgan. Out between the timeline and the 3-point line. Malik Morgan directing traffic with the left hand. Working on Chad Sherwood. Spins away from Chad. Drives left to the block. Little floater is short. And a rebound tip. Saved by Malik Morgan. They'll say out of bounds to West. Malik could not get his hands on it before it went out of bounds. Claiming that was last touched. Or maybe that he was being held as he pulls on his jersey a little bit.
Coach Bakken had taken that 30-second timeout. I think he feels like his offense had gotten a little bit stagnant. Sitting on 28-16 here. At that time, the Bulldog defense has a lot to do with that right now.
West needing to make a little mini run here. They're down 12. Chad Sherwood whips it ahead for Sawyer Reed. Reed, a controlled left-hand dribble, gives it to Chad Sherwood. A corner 3. Too strong. Rebound, Nate Sherwood. Offensive board, keeps the possession. Nate picking up the dribble, drops it to Josh Bryant. Bryant looking to back in on Smith. Now gets it to Reed in the left corner. Sawyer Reed dribbles all the way around the perimeter, gives it to Chad Sherwood, right side. One-hand pass inside for Nate, who is held on the catch. Couple of free throws coming for Nate Sherwood, who is being held as he caught it inside. The foul is going to go on Andrew Smith.
And that possession in particular right there, Ryan, is what I was talking about earlier, where you need to be patient on the offensive end. Look for the opportunities to get it into one of your bigs. That time, Nate Sherwood, great job of holding off the defender. They had tried to have somebody smaller come over on the backside, but he was held and goes to the line for 2. Hits the first one.
He converts his first free throw. The foul on Andrew Smith was his first. As Nate Sherwood, one more free throw here with 4:07 to go in the first half. Trying to get it back to a 10-point game as Jalen Schlegel prepares to check in. Nate converts on both free throws. And here comes the sub. Jalen Schlegel in, Josh Bryant out. So West Albany right now with Sawyer Reed, Chad Sherwood, Nate Sherwood, Jalen Schlegel, Cameron Dixon.
Got to take advantage at the free throw line while you can. Well, you've only got 3 team fouls. Churchill sitting on 10. Bulldogs shoot 2 the rest of the way.
The Morgans play catch outside. Malik Morgan gives to Andrew Smith now. Between the circles, Smith goes back to the right for Emmanuel Morgan. Quick fake, drives to the baseline, floating jumper, back rim, no good. Rebound, Chad Sherwood. Chad wants to push, now gets it off to Sawyer Reed. Reed met right at midcourt, poked away and stolen by Emmanuel Morgan. On the run, bounce pass, Malik Morgan. Reverse layup is good. Nicely done by the Morgans as Emmanuel Morgan feeds his brother Malik for the layup and the lead back to 12. Quickly to front court. West Albany gets it to Nate Sherwood. It's Nate behind the back dribble in traffic, bumped and fouled, and 2 more free throws for West. I think they're going to call David Shedrick, much to the chagrin of the Churchill faithful down to our left.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. looked like, as Nate was trying to spin around with the ball. You never want your bigs to dribble in the key, but he was trying to spin around, had a defender come over, try and double on him. That's where they got the contact.
Nate Sherwood's free throw, no good. Well, you talk about a boisterous student section. Churchill has it down to our left, and they're already motioning over to the West Albany side.
Well, that's a product of a winning program right there. Is you're going to be more well-traveled and certainly more enthusiastic, as they brought a lot of their classmates here from Churchill High tonight.
Nate goes 1 of 2. He hits the second, 30-19. Churchill continuing to lead comfortably here in the first half, up 11 with 3:18 to play in the half. Emmanuel Morgan drives, goes around Jalen Schlegel, blew the layup, rebound Chad Sherwood, up ahead of the pack, it goes to Cam Dixon, all the way in, no, but a foul, another one on Churchill, as Cameron Dixon now to the line to shoot two, and a foul on the newly inserted Deshaun Brooks.
Sorry, Ryan, and I like how the Bulldogs are looking up the floor. Churchill wants all their pressure in the backcourt here. They want to be able to pressure you into quick turnovers and quick points there. Bulldogs, in looking down the floor, stretch things out and get some guys on runouts like we just saw with Cam Dixon there. He's got the speed, and Bulldogs are looking up the floor nicely to try and get some of those passes connected.
Cameron Dixon good on his first free throw. Second one here to try to get it to single digits with 3:10 to go in the half. Cam ready, releases, and hits. Good on a pair. 30-21, Churchill. Boy, with a free throw disparity like West Albany has right now, you'd like to see it a little bit closer than 9. West has made a living at the free throw line. Emmanuel Morgan works the perimeter for Churchill, gets inside the foul line, kicks it out to the left to Deshaun Brooks for 3. That's long, no good. Rebound, Jalen Schlegel. Jalen up ahead of the pack, 3-on-2 to the rim, kicks it to the corner. Cam Dixon, baseline jumper, no good. Front rim, rebound, Nate Sherwood. Out to Sawyer Reed. Corner, Chad Sherwood. Gets around Emmanuel Morgan. Drops it off to Jalen Schlegel. He'll work the baseline. Maybe got away with a push, then has it swiped away and out of bounds. It will stay with West. I don't know if Malik Morgan flopped or if Jalen pushed him, but Churchill certainly wanted the offensive foul.
Yeah, well, they weren't going to get it on that one. It was certainly a pretty good acting job, but I'm not so sure the Bulldogs didn't catch a break on that play right there, because it looked to me like it went off Jalen Schlegel's foot at the end of that play after the ball was stripped.
Well, here comes the big guy. Matt Hayashi, the 7-footer, is in for Churchill. 7-foot junior. He came in for Mathers. On the inbound, it's Cameron Dixon, hounded by Deshaun Brooks, throwing it away as Churchill gets it off the deflection. We're going to get a whistle and a foul in backcourt. It's on Cameron Dixon, but it may have prevented a fast break layup for Churchill. Dixon called for the foul, West Albany's 4th.
Well, he got tied up with number 23, Andrew Smith. And Andrew Smith, I tell you, he is full of attitude. I'm not liking this kid at all. I shouldn't say that on the air.
No.
But I tell you, it's just I'm seeing an arrogance from this kid that just needs to go away. But he and Cameron Dixon got tied up on that play, and Cameron trying to untie himself, and maybe a little bit of extracurricular there, but I didn't think warranted a foul.
Well, the foul on Cam, his 2nd. Just the 4th on the Bulldogs with 2.5 to go in the first half. A 9-point Churchill lead. Brooks inbounds to Malik Morgan. Malik all the way inside the foul line to the trailing Andrew Smith. Foul line jumper, bingo. Big half from Andrew Smith. He drops in 2 more. 32-21, Churchill.
Patience now, Bulldogs, patience.
Chad Sherwood using a Jalen Schlegel screen, attacking inside, missed it in close, and a rebound to Churchill. Brooks up ahead to Emmanuel Morgan. On the run, pulls up at the arc. Doubled by Dixon and Schlegel. Gets it back out to Malik Morgan. Now Andrew Smith, another 3. Front rim, no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of Sawyer Reed. And we're going to get a poke and a foul on Churchill as Sawyer Reed got poked in the eye. Sawyer's going to take a moment to try and compose himself in the backcourt, hoping that he can see straight at the foul line at the other end. It's on Deshaun Brooks, his 2nd. Churchill, all sorts of fouls here in the first half.
That's where you hope he's not seeing double. You hope he's seeing triple and shoot at the one in the middle.
Aim for the one in the middle, you bet. They'll take a moment here, make sure that Sawyer's okay, as Jesse Berkey is at the foul line. Now, Todd Zimmerman is saying he can't see. I want Jesse Berkey in. Now, Berkey, who is a great shooter, I would presume a very good foul shooter, he's going to come in as they say Sawyer Reed cannot see well enough to shoot.
that's some
little
coaching
gamesmanship
right there. Yeah,
yep.
A little gamesmanship.
So Jesse Berkey will try to cash it in. His free throw, no good. One more to come for Berkey, 5'9" senior. A streaky shooter, but when he gets hot,
boy, I tell you, he can really bring it.
Light it up with the best of them. His second free throw is good. 1 of 2 for Berkey. It's back to a 10-point game. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. And Emmanuel Morgan will walk it into front court. Churchill has certainly slowed the pace here in the second quarter after a 24-point opening frame. Just 8 here in the second, but they continue to lead by 10. So Emmanuel Morgan gets into the lane and puts it in with the left hand. Kind of lulling West to sleep with the dribble and then exploding to the rim. Chad Sherwood through traffic, lost it. Emmanuel Morgan's got it. Racing ahead, no-look pass ahead. Andrew Smith, layup and a foul. Well, no sooner do I say that Churchill's slowing it down than suddenly they burst back to life. 4 quick ones and a chance for a 3-point play here for Andrew Smith.
And really frustrating, too, because West Albany tried to beat the press with the dribble. And I'm telling you, you can't do that against the quickness of this team, and they just proved it right there. You've got to beat it with the pass. Get guys to open windows, beat that press with the pass, and then be patient offensively. You don't give them these quick opportunities and the quick score strikes like we just saw. 4 straight points, a chance to make it 5 here at the line.
Foul was called on Josh Bryant. It's Andrew Smith trying to complete the 3-point play and put Churchill back up by 15. His free throw is no good. One of the few things he's missed here in the first half. 14-point lead for the Lancers. Minute 22 to play. Sawyer Reed in front court to Nate Sherwood. Doubled on the left wing. Nate in some trouble. Dribbles through the double. Gets it out to Chad Sherwood. Touch pass for Sawyer Reed. It's Reed directing traffic. Gets it back up top for Chad Sherwood.
Bigs have got to move.
Chad trying to fire inside for Nate. Too high. Out of bounds, and another West Albany turnover.
Brothers having a little chat. The brothers Sherwood having a little chat going back up the floor. Man, that pass had a lot of pace on it.
That was a rifle.
That was a rifle.
Too tall and wide. Intended for Nate Sherwood. As Emmanuel Morgan again tries to drive in. Missed the shot in close. Might have gotten away with a push with the off arm, but missed anyway. West clears it as Sawyer Reed gets it to Josh Bryant. Bryant will dribble to front court and get it off to Chad Sherwood. 45 seconds to go in the first half. Sawyer Reed gets it back now to Bryant in the right corner. Bryant to Nate Sherwood rather. Foul line extended inside Jalen Schlegel on the sweep in left hand around the 7-footer. Hayashi is good. 36-24, a 12-point Churchill lead. Lancer ball, 30 seconds to play in the half.
And the Bulldogs have a foul to give. They might think about that here, try and disrupt things a little bit more. They've only got 5 team fouls.
Sawyer Reed extends out on Emmanuel Morgan, who clears some space with 18 seconds. Slow back and forth dribble, trying to reset the 5 count, and does. Now hands it to Malik Morgan. 12 seconds, 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Malik Morgan working on Chad Sherwood with 6 seconds. With 5, pulls up for 3. No good. Rebound Jalen Schlegel. Couple of dribbles. Will fire from 2/3 court. Missed it short. The horn will sound and we'll head to the locker room. Right where we were at the end of 1 with Churchill up 12. Halftime tonight from West Albany High School. Churchill 36, West Albany 24. We'll take a break and return to KSHO.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
Lynn Benton Tractor, we're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
Need extra money in time for the holidays? H&R Block offers the Emerald Advance, a line of credit up to $1,000 that you can start using today. No W-2 required. Stop by a participating office to apply or call 1-800-HR-BLOCK to learn more. H&R Block Emerald Advance, line of credit offered through H&R Block Bank. Member FDIC, participating offices subject to credit approval. Free supply. See HR Block/Emerald Advance for details. 2012 HRB Tax Group Incorporated offered January 15, 2013. OVTP B1550.
Hi, this is Serena at your neighborhood H&R Block in Albany, Lebanon, Corvallis. Call us today at 541-928-6432 and see what it means to never settle for less when it comes to your taxes.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Back here at West Albany High School, halftime with Churchill leading West Albany 36-24. There's a lot of game left to be played here, Wally, but one thing very clear, Churchill is a solid team.
Yeah, they're a very good basketball team, and they're as advertised, Ryan. They're not doing anything differently than what we thought they would do coming in. They do it with speed and quickness, and they've gotten loose for way too many three-point opportunities. And when they get those turnovers on the in the backcourt, they are turning those into points. Bulldogs, it would be interesting to know how many points off of turnovers that the Lancers have tonight, because they, certainly over half of their points, it hasn't been in their half-court sets. It's been points off turnovers. You limit those, and you limit their scoring opportunities, and it's as simple as that to say.
Right.
But the speed and quickness, just the how skilled Churchill is, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but how skilled they are at getting those turnovers, being in the right place to get the turnovers, and not only like I said before, not only trying to pick the ball from in front of the offensive player, but knowing how to come around from behind and pick it as well. You cannot dribble consistently against this Churchill team. It'll kill you, and you just have to do it with the pass, which means activity. It means you have to be moving to open spots, moving to windows, so that whoever has the ball offensively for the Bulldogs has somebody to get it to. It's going to be a matter of, can the Bulldogs be disciplined enough to beat this pressure with the pass? If they try and dribble against it, this game's going to be very, very long for the Bulldogs.
Churchill returning a lot of players from a team that made the state tournament a year ago, and certainly seeming as though they may be headed in that direction again this year. They have already played two teams from the Mid-Willamette Conference, beaten both of them, and after the game here tonight, they will play Corvallis on Friday, so they could very well put themselves in a position, or they could win the Mid-Willamette here in the first 4 games of the season, but a lot of game left to be played here tonight. A 12-point Churchill lead, 36-24. A couple of things I want to wrap up from the fall sports season before we talk a little bit more about the first half here. Mentioned in the pregame, Jake Lacoste, congratulations to him. He was named the 2012-2013 Gatorade Oregon Football Player of the Year. The award combines academics and athletics. Jake, sporting a 3.63 GPA, is the first West Albany athlete to win that award. It also will make him a candidate for the Gatorade National Player of the Year award, which will be announced later this month. And to recap the season numbers, because they're astounding, 2,741 yards, 38 touchdowns, rushed for 3 touchdowns in a game 9 times this year. So Jake Lacoste, congratulations to him, Gatorade Oregon Football Player of the Year. And congratulations also to a couple of girls from the West Albany State Volleyball Champions. Tani Stevens named the 5A Volleyball Player of the Year. Of course, also named to the first team All-State, along with Haley Wells and Peyton Rund. Miranda Bader was named to the second team, and maybe most impressive, the last 3 names there, aside from Tani Stevens, who is on her way to Washington State to play collegiately. The other 3 all returning next year to the state champion Bulldogs. Congratulations again to them for their state championship. And this year, I think I'd like to keep a little closer eye on girls basketball. We've picked them up in the playoffs the last couple of years, but I think during the year, we haven't done as many updates. They are off to a 3-0 start this year. They won the West Albany Bulldog Classic, beating the same 2 teams, Grants Pass and Union. They have a new head coach, Craig Swanson, up at Sprague now is the athletic director and assistant principal. We wish the best to Coach Swanson and wish the best to Mike Haberly, who now takes over the Bulldog girls program.
Yeah, such a storied program now in 5A, the West Albany Bulldog girls. Love to see them start out with the success. They've got some momentum over the last few years, and hope that Coach Haberly can continue to build that program, the depth of that program, and the feeder programs coming into the program, and just continue that success. They're a lot of fun to watch, and we'll hope to be calling their games in the postseason as well.
And keep an eye out for Corey James this year, because all I've seen are the box scores, but Corey James averaging better than 20 points a game in her first 3 this year. She's only a sophomore, was tremendous as a freshman. Certainly somebody to watch, and that West Albany team has a lot of talent. Ashton Signer back, now a junior, and that West Albany team won on Saturday, I believe for the first time in program history, last year at the state tournament, and they're looking to follow that up again this year. Again, it's halftime here at West Albany. The boys for the Bulldogs trailing Churchill 36-24. We'll take a break, come back in just a moment, and get to Jay with some first half stats after the timeout here at 920 KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV bottles on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at West Albany High School, Ryan Pitts with Wally Ordeman, and now with Jeff Kiter, who is back keeping the book here. How's it going, Jeff? Have you retained the skills? You got a good pencil. You got some lead. You ready to go?
Well, I only have one pencil. I hope I don't need another one.
Yeah. At the pace we've been going in the first half, you may. A lot of Bulldog turnovers in the first half, and that's really been the difference.
It really has. And missed free throws. And I'm sure you guys mentioned that on the air. But, you take away some of the 13 turnovers. Those are missed opportunities at the offensive end.
Sure.
And missed opportunities at the free throw line. They call it free because it's a free shot. You're not guarded.
Right.
And unfortunately, we haven't taken advantage of that in the first half. As you mentioned, the Bulldogs have 13 turnovers in the first half. From the free throw line, they're 10 of 17, so there's 17 opportunities to garner points at the free throw line. The Bulldogs did shoot 50% from the field, but they only took 14 shots.
Yeah.
When you can't hang on the ball and get shots up, you can't score points. So leading the way for the Bulldogs in the first half, Jalen Schlegel was in double-figure scoring. He had 10 points, also had 5 rebounds. Nate Sherwood had 7 points. All of those but 2 came from the free throw line. Also had 6 rebounds for Nate. Cameron Dixon was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 2 points. Chad Sherwood had 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 block shots in impressive fashion,
yes,
I might
definitely.
say. Jesse Berkey came off the bench to hit 1 of 2 free throws, and that was the scoring in the first half for the Bulldogs. Again, they were 7 of 14 from the field, 10 of 17 from the free throw line, and 0 of 3 from three-point range. We're used to really seeing the Bulldogs team put up more three-pointers, and they just haven't had that opportunity.
Yeah.
Flipping over to the other side for Churchill, they only had 3 turnovers, so they took care of the ball pretty well. They were led in scoring by Andrew Smith with 18 first-half points.
Wow.
David Shedrick had 5. Malik Morgan 4. Kedron Johnson had 4. Jake Mathers 3. And Emmanuel Morgan had 2 points. Churchill was 14 of 34 from the field, 41%. Now, they shot 15 threes. They were 5 of 15 from threes, which is 33%, and they were 3 of 5 from the free throw line. So, again, turnovers, made free throws. Maybe it's a little closer game, but realistically, they're only down by 12.
Yep.
So they can get back into this game in a hurry. So we'll see what happens.
That's what we'll hope for. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Jeff Kiter with our halftime stats. I'm a little surprised that Churchill only has 5 made three-point shots. It seems like they've just been raining them in the first half. But Andrew Smith, 18 points all on his own, and Churchill leading 36-24. They do the halftime hoop shoot here as everybody comes out of the stands. I think you pay $1 and you get a couple of shots, an opportunity to win a 2-liter a pop. A couple of Churchill students came down and made shots, much to the delight of their crowd. It reminded me of a game when I was in high school at Junction City. Junction City played at Marist for Marist's homecoming, and Junction City just destroyed them that night. And I remember somebody said, it's a surprise that a Junction City girl didn't win homecoming queen at Marist. That's the same sort of feel here tonight. Churchill leading by 12 at the half. They're hitting the halftime hoop shoot shots. West trying to turn things around in a hurry here in the second half. The Bulldogs will get first possession. We'll get set to go.
They certainly are looking to turn this around here. They have to find number 23, Andrew Smith. 18 points in that first half. Only 3 turnovers by Churchill there in that first half.
So the Bulldogs operating at the rim down to our right. Nearly turn it over. Chad Sherwood instead gets it back, attacks, and lays it in. Chad Sherwood with a drive to the rim. The lead is 10 for Churchill, 36-26. Chad averaging 19 points a game the first 3 this season, and now Churchill turns it over. Deshaun Brooks on the floor to start the third quarter, threw it underneath Emmanuel Morgan, and that's not easy. Emmanuel's 5'6".
That's really not. Put it right at his heels there. That's a very difficult ball to pick up.
Chad Sherwood, the leading scorer for West coming in all 3 games. He's averaging 19. Jalen Schlegel averaging 19.5 in his 2 games. As Chad Sherwood flows to the baseline and puts it in again, and that's what West is going to need from the senior. Back-to-back hoops, it's down to 8, 36-28.
You could just see him fill with confidence. He hits first couple of early buckets here. Let's hope he could just go off.
Malik Morgan feeds Mather, now to Brooks in the corner, back out to Malik Morgan. Chad Sherwood on him. To the left wing, Emmanuel Morgan, faking the deep 3. Worked on by Sawyer Reed, gets around Reed with the dribble, pulls up inside the foul line, trying to draw contact and miss the shot. No whistle as Nate Sherwood pulls a rebound. Gets to Sawyer Reed, now to Chad Sherwood up the left sideline, bumped by Malik Morgan. Forces him to pick up his dribble, gets it to Sawyer Reed. Reed right back to Chad, around a high screen from Bryant, fires a 3, no good, right rim. Rebound to Sean Brooks. That would have been a big hit as Brooks trying to go coast to coast. Offensive foul as he put it in, but Chad Sherwood there to draw the charge, wipe away the bucket, and West will take it back. The foul on Brooks is his 3rd.
This West Albany team very, very good at drawing the charge. That time, Chad Sherwood taking the punishment as we go the other way.
If this were college or the NBA, he might have been in that restricted area underneath the basket. There's sort of an imaginary restricted area in high school, but they get the offensive fouls. Now Jalen looks to attack and lays it in. Coast to coast, the big man.
Coast to coast, 6'8". Holy smokes, have him bringing the ball up the floor.
A finger roll from Jalen makes it a 6-point game, the closest West has been in a long time. Andrew Smith on the left wing. Around a screen from Malik Morgan. Gets it to Deshaun Brooks. Now back to Morgan between the circles. A back and forth dribble. Feeds Brooks left wing between the legs. Out to Emmanuel Morgan. High out on the right side. Bulldog students getting into it. 2 minutes into the third quarter. West within 6. Deshaun Brooks, corner 3. That will silence the crowd. A triple from Deshaun Brooks. 39-30. And Churchill with a much needed hoop. As Sawyer Reed in front court, lobs it to Jalen Schlegel, way out on the left side. Jalen again playing point forward, waiting for Sawyer to come back, and Reed does take the handoff near midcourt. Reed angling right into the chest of Emmanuel Morgan. Drops it down to Schlegel. On the blocks, Jalen waits for traffic to clear, backs his way in, got his man in the air, a series of fakes, a fadeaway that will drop. So good with the feet inside.
Boy, he really is. The footwork, any kids watching these games, these West Albany games, needs to just watch Jalen Schlegel's feet. It's poetry.
A 7-point Churchill lead. Andrew Smith driving in. Wild shot, no good. Rebound, Josh Bryant. West a chance to draw closer as Sawyer Reed gets it to Bryant, right back to Reed. As Sawyer, the point guard, will bring it across the timeline, veering to his right. Gives to Josh Bryant between the circles. Left for Nate Sherwood on the wing. Look for the back cut. That wasn't there. It's knocked away, stolen by Deshaun Brooks. All the way to the goal. Brooks a reverse. That is good. Deshaun Brooks. A couple of big buckets here in the third quarter when West has made runs. Back up to 9, 41-32. Chad Sherwood. Out to Sawyer Reed. Reed into Jalen Schlegel. Getting position on Mather. Goes all the way in. Lays it in. Going to see that a lot this year. Jalen virtually unstoppable when he gets positioned inside.
And how smart was that? Use the rim as a defender there to defend his shot. Beautiful play by Jalen.
41-34. Deshaun Brooks outside. Gives to Andrew Smith. Right in front of the Churchill bench. Nate Sherwood trying to stay in his face. Andrew Smith, 18 in the first half.
I like having Nate on him right now, those long arms.
Here is Emmanuel Morgan, who lost Sawyer Reed, and I mean lost him with a crossover. And Morgan drops the jumper, 43-34. Jalen pinned, turned it over. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Churchill's got it. Front court, Emmanuel Morgan around Bryant. Pass inside, tip. Can West save it? Yes, Nate Sherwood does. Long ahead into the hands of Emmanuel Morgan. He is everywhere. I don't know how he got from under the rim into front court that quickly, but he got his hands on it. Now drives all the way in. Tough shot, missed it. Wanted a foul. The whistle never came. Here's Jalen Schlegel with it. Again trying to go coast to coast, and he is going to be called for a travel. As he came through traffic wanting a foul, instead is called for an up and down.
He traveled because the guy was hanging on both arms as he's trying to go up for the shot. Unbelievable.
Certainly the way it looked. So West Albany does not get that call. And the only thing to slow the pace all of a sudden is now that travel.
Yeah, and the only thing good about that call right there is it gives the Bulldogs a chance to catch their breath.
Andrew Benyon in for Churchill. He brings it up the floor, guarded by Keaton Bader. Bader came in for Bryant. It's Emmanuel Morgan. Controls the pace out to David Shedrick. Now to Kedron Johnson. Johnson playing with the 3 fouls outside. Gives to David Shedrick. Outside the arc on the right wing. Back to Johnson, now to Emmanuel Morgan. Churchill really changing pace now as they'll slow it down again. Benyon hounded. Gives to Kedron Johnson, and Johnson is going to be fouled up top. A foul on Nate Sherwood. Well, as Churchill tried to slow it up top, the West Albany bench pleading for a double dribble. They didn't get it.
Churchill with 3 turnovers in the first half, already 3 in this quarter. So the Bulldog pressure stepped up a little bit. Helped create some turnovers there. Only the first team foul on the Bulldogs. Nobody in foul trouble.
But Churchill has pushed their lead back to 9 as Andrew Benyon wants to attack. Spinning inside, back to Kedron Johnson. Foul line jumper, rattles out. Rebound back to the hands of David Shedrick. Offensive board. Right wing, Emmanuel Morgan, a 3. That's way short. Rebound to Emmanuel Morgan in traffic. Inside David Shedrick. Up, under, in, and a foul. There are nights in sports, we've seen it several times, where the bounces don't go your way and it just seems like everything is going to go the way of the opposition. That was the case there. Every bounce on that possession goes to Churchill. They'll wind up with a chance for 3. A chance to get it back to 12 as we have a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here.
Well, I tell you, any chance you have to catch your breath here, not only as players, but as broadcasters too. I tell you, Churchill with this pace, and West Albany likes to play fast too, as we talked about in the pregame. This is a quick game. It's still only 2:52 to go here in the third quarter, and the pace is frantic. But right now, this is a great opportunity in this 30 seconds. Coach Zimmerman, you can tell, is just really trying to get after him here. So you got to keep that intensity up, keep playing smart, but it allows the lungs to refill, and that's what you're after there on these quick timeouts.
West Albany came out hot to start the third quarter. They had it quickly from 12 to 8 and had a 3-point shot that could have cut it to 5. That one missed, and now if David Shedrick can put in his free throw, Churchill can push it back to their halftime margin of 12. Shedrick, 6'3" junior, and his free throw is good. 3-point play, 46-34. Churchill back up a dozen with 2:50 to go in the third. Sawyer Reed gets it down low to Jalen Schlegel. Jalen trying to back in on Kedron Johnson. Got him in the air. Baby hook. Bingo. He's improved rapidly in his high school career, and some of the moves I've seen tonight make it look like he may be an all-stater this year. He's been incredible. Malik Morgan gets it off to Gerson Monjaras into the game for the first time. He misses. Shedrick's follow no good. Malik Morgan is shaken up, and they're going to blow it dead. Now, West was racing the other way, and Coach Zimmerman up off the bench saying, why'd you stop it?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing where if you're going to stop it, you have to stop it on their offensive possession.
Yeah.
You can't do it when West Albany has a 5-on-4 going the other way.
That's a poor whistle. You want to protect the athlete, but Malik Morgan is way underneath the opposing basket, and that short-circuited a Bulldog fast break.
Yeah, you have to do that as soon as West Albany grabs the rebound.
You bet.
That's when you blow that whistle. Then it's not a breakaway, and you're able to protect the player on that one. That's just poorly done right there.
That was not well handled by what is one of our better officiating crews. As we recognize these guys from year to year.
And I've been impressed so far in the games that I've seen with the standard of officiating. I think it's, to this point, I'm going to say it's improved. And I have been impressed with the men in stripes so far in what I've seen.
Brandon Dixon has checked back in for West Albany. He's on the floor along with Chad and Nate Sherwood, Sawyer Reed, Jalen Schlegel.
Josh Bryant getting a little bit of a blow. Bulldogs going a little bit smaller here with Brandon in and Josh out.
The Bulldogs will inbound when they finally do put it in play. Malik Morgan is fine, incidentally, as he got up quickly and got back to the bench. Looked like he just turned his ankle. Chad Sherwood will inbound on the baseline for West. Lobs it in for Nate Sherwood. Nate got up and under, missed the shot, goes right back up and tips his own miss in. It's back down to 8, 46-38 with 2:15 to go in the third. Nate Sherwood, the quick hops to get right back up and tip in his miss. Andrew Benyon weaving into a double team. His pass deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Churchill. It'll go back to West. Reed deflected it. Monjaras the last to touch it.
Bulldogs showing some quick hands of their own on that play. Deflected twice by the Bulldogs. Going the other way.
We're going to get a sub in here. Nate Sherwood was tapping out. I don't know if he got popped in the mouth or in the eye. I think, yeah, he got poked in the eye. As he will head to the locker room, Jalen Schlegel is going to bring it up the floor, being hounded by Kedron Johnson. Gets rid of it into the corner for Chad Sherwood. Chad drives inside the foul line. He gets hammered with no whistle. The rebound goes loose out of bounds to Churchill. Wow. Wild sequence. Jalen Schlegel was being ridden up the sideline with no foul. Chad Sherwood got bumped on the shot with no foul. And a questionable loose ball out of bounds to Churchill.
Yeah, certainly Jalen. He should have gotten that call right there. Only one team foul on Churchill in this half. But Chad, a little bit out of control. Most referees will not call that when they think you don't have control.
Still got bumped. David Shedrick, jumper way short. An air ball, and it will go out of bounds to West. We're going to get a quick timeout taken here by Churchill. We'll see if it's a 30 or a full. It's a full, so we'll step away. 1:31 to go in the third. Churchill by 8 on KSHO.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda Superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays.
Unforgettable 920.
Back here at West Albany High School, I'm Ryan Pitts with Wally Ordeman and Jeff Kiter. Our thanks for joining us. My apologies again for not being here last week. Got the stomach flu, and there's not too much you can do about it.
You know, Ryan, once every 8 years is okay.
Right.
You get a mulligan on those.
I felt terrible about it. It's one of those rare illnesses where I literally could not get out of bed last Tuesday. Those don't come along very often. It happened last week. I'm glad to be back, and this is an important early season matchup, a measuring stick for West Albany. Churchill has led comfortably throughout. The Bulldogs will have possession here, down by 8, just trying to make that one big run.
And they've got players on the floor that can do it, but they have to keep feeding the bigs. Right now, Jalen Schlegel has been unstoppable in the middle. If they can get him the ball anywhere in the Bulldog, or anywhere in the key, then good things are going to happen.
Sawyer Reed into front court. His pass to the wing is deflected out of bounds by Emmanuel Morgan.
Man, he's quick.
He is lightning quick. We remember that from last year. So he's been starting a point guard for a couple of years for Churchill, but just his ability to be all over the floor is incredible. As another deflection on the inbound. Out of bounds, West will try it again. That time David Shedrick got his hands on it. West is going to inbound out of the far right corner as your son Perry will have to adjust his seat so as not to be in the seat of Sawyer Reed. Sawyer ready to inbound. Wanting to trigger it in, looking for some help. Gets it in underneath for Jalen Schlegel. A quick double. Jalen fires it away.
Yeah, got himself turned around and then left his feet. Cardinal sin is a big. Thought he knew where Josh was going to be, and Josh wasn't able to be in that spot. Well defended by Churchill as we're going the other way. Another turnover by the Bulldogs. 18 for the game.
Nate Sherwood comes back in. He had run to the locker room. I don't know if Nate wears contacts. It looked like that's what he was reaching for, as though a contact had popped out. He is back out on the floor. Brandon Dixon back to the bench is Emmanuel Morgan. Guarded by Chad Sherwood with 1:08 to go in the third quarter, and Churchill up by 8. Gets rid of it for Benyon to Shedrick, right back to Benyon. High out on the right wing as we're going to get a whistle and a 3-second violation on Churchill. Kedron Johnson got caught in the paint.
I tell you, as a coach, that would drive you nuts. Perimeter pass, 3 in the key. Going the other way. 5 turnovers in this half for each team.
Andrew Smith checks back in for Churchill. Andrew is one of those check your birth certificate kind of players. He's got a better beard than you or I could ever grow. As he's back out on the floor. Guarding Nate Sherwood, who holds it on the right wing. Drops it in for Chad Sherwood. Fadeaway jumper around and in. And the Bulldogs back to within 6.
Soft touch and not an easy shot either. Turnaround jumper, but turning the opposite way that you might think. Puts it up softly.
46-40 with 38 seconds to go in the third. Shedrick. Loud bounce pass to Emmanuel Morgan just in front of the Churchill bench. Shedrick maybe a moving pick. He clipped Sawyer Reed. Emmanuel Morgan working near the timeline. Little jab step to get some space. Wants to go to the left. Now back to the right. Off for Kedron Johnson. Out to Malik Morgan with 20 seconds in the quarter. He carried the ball up top. A turnover on Churchill. West will get it back. Maybe a chance to play for the final shot of the quarter with 19.7 in the third.
Well, of the games I've seen, Ryan, the third quarter has been the best offensive output for the Bulldogs, and certainly this no exception here. But defensively, too, creating more turnovers, 6 now turnovers on Churchill in this quarter alone.
Sawyer Reed brings it up, trying to go to Nate Sherwood. Good catch by Nate in traffic. Guarded by Andrew Smith, underneath for Chad. Little fadeaway, goes off the window. What a shot! A fadeaway off glass. It's a 4-point game. 2 seconds. 1 second. Malik Morgan will fire at the horn and bank it in. Are you kidding me? He banks in a 3. Didn't know there was no time left. He fired it wildly, and he banks it in. The lead back to 7 at the end of 3. A dagger from Churchill. 49-42. The Lancers will go to the 4th at KSHO.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Linn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany: Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
920 KSHO.
You've got to be skillful in sports. You've also got to be lucky. And Churchill has banked a couple of wild threes tonight. The last one, a big one, to end the third quarter and put the Lancers up 7. Churchill now has possession to start the fourth quarter, leading 49-42. The Bulldogs a great third quarter, and Churchill really bailed out at the end. West tries to go back to work as Emmanuel Morgan drives through traffic, has his shot blocked, and they're going to call a foul on Chad Sherwood. Very nearly got his 4th block of the night, but got Emmanuel Morgan with the body, and Emmanuel to the line for 2.
And Emmanuel, it was all Emmanuel all the time on that possession right there. I tell you, that guy, he'll pound it. And he is so quick, he can put it anywhere he wants. That time, able to find himself at the rim. Chad Sherwood comes up and at least stops him from getting the easy bucket, puts him at the line for 2.
Connolly puts in the first free throw. When you think of how hard the Bulldogs had worked to get back within 4, and that really, I mean, by all rights, should have been the margin at the end of 3 quarters. Malik Morgan didn't know how much time was left. His bench was screaming at him. He turned and fired, and he put it off the window and in.
And how are you going to respond from that? This is a veteran group. I think they'll respond well.
Emmanuel Morgan misses the second free throw. Rebound, Jalen Schlegel. An 8-point Churchill lead. Opening minute of the fourth quarter. Sawyer Reed lost the handle, but Josh Bryant picks up the loose ball. Now Jalen Schlegel with the fake, drives all the way in, and lays it in with the left hand. From the top of the key all the way to the rim for a layup. Back to 6. 50-44, 7:15 to go in the game. Malik Morgan in the corner around Bryant. Goes to the corner for Andrew Smith. A 3 that's short. Out of bounds. No. Saved and loose. Saved again. Malik Morgan gets it back. Got away with a walk. Missed the shot. It's loose to the baseline and out of bounds to West. A wild sequence. Malik Morgan, I don't know how he got away with the walk. Took a hop, skip, and a jump.
Zim's going nuts down here.
He would be a beautiful triple jumper, but track does not start for another couple of months.
Hey, Jeff Kiter pointed out the Bulldogs 9 for 12 in that third quarter from the field.
Now Nate Sherwood got some space, goes in, up around Mather and lays it in. It's back to 4. 50-46 with 6:47 to go. Bulldogs now looking for another stop. Emmanuel Morgan angles left, trying to get around Sawyer Reed. Crossover dribble. Comes back all the way to the top. Hands it off to David Shedrick.
I tell you, these refs have got to start counting on these possessions.
Shedrick explodes to the rim and lays it in. And a quick timeout taken by Kelly Pokin of Churchill. An explosive first step from David Shedrick.
You keeping it here?
Yeah, you got a point to make.
What Coach Zim is talking to the referees about right now is that with all the dribbling that Churchill's doing up top, West Albany's defenders are staying within range, and Coach Zim wants the referees to start getting that 5 count going, and they're not doing it. And Bulldogs are chasing them real well, getting themselves in front and playing great defense on the ball, and they're not getting the benefit of that 5 count.
You could see the official gesture spreading the arms apart as if to say he had created space, and not so sure.
Yeah, not so sure, and that it's so subjective here, and really high school basketball has gotten better about that, about defining how big that area is that you have to close in from. West Albany defenders, Sawyer Reed in particular, Chad Sherwood too, have really been closing that gap, and I think they need to be getting the benefit of that.
West Albany has scratched and clawed, and they have gotten back to within 6. They've been as close as 4. And that's the closest they've been since very early in this game. Churchill got out to a quick 7-point lead, and this is as close as it's been since. The Lancers have had a nice working margin the entire night. The Bulldogs hoping for a big push. Now, West Albany did overcome a deficit to beat Union High School of Camas, Vancouver, whatever you want to call them, in the final last Saturday. They hope to do the same here tonight against a much, much better team, the Churchill Lancers. Number 1 rated team in the OSCA right now at 5A. Bulldogs with it out of the timeout. Chad Sherwood on the left wing to Jalen Schlegel, trying to cut his way to the rim. Backing out on Kedron Johnson. Out to Sawyer Reed. Reed, pass inside, deflected. Jalen got it back. Got a step, goes up, can't hit. Bryant tried to tip it. That won't go, and a rebound to Andrew Smith. West again looking for a whistle that never came. Malik Morgan lobs it for Kedron Johnson, who blew the dunk, but gets it right back. And they're going to call a foul.
No,
they'll say out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Kedron Johnson tried to throw that down on an alley-oop and rim checked himself. It's getting wild.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Composure. Got to keep your composure.
I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
Not you.
Oh, as bodies collide in front court. Couple of players shaken as Churchill takes the loose ball the other way. Layup and a foul. And another bad bounce for West. A chance for a 3-point play, and Chad Sherwood collided with Emmanuel Morgan. Chad bent over just in front of us trying to catch his breath.
Yeah, he's trying to shake out some of the bells there. It's a big collision here. Coach Zimmerman very upset that on that contact there was no call too. And Churchill ends up getting an easy run out there and a chance for a 3-point play and make this margin 9.
West Albany certainly had the foul disparity in their favor in the first half, but a lot of tough no calls here in the second half that have gone against West Albany.
Well, it's just such a tale of two halves as far as the how the calls are being made. So much more contact. 1 team foul on Churchill in this half. By this point in the first half, Bulldogs were shooting in the double bonus.
Yep. Free throw good. The lead back to 9. As Reed, look out, just in front of us on a deflection. Young lady sitting in the row right in front of us just took one right off the top of the dome.
And right back to her cell phone.
Yep, nothing happened. It's okay. Chad Sherwood will now inbound. Goes to the corner for Josh Bryant. Bryant trying to get it in for Jalen Schlegel. Schlegel with a catch. Got it, and the foul. A big hoop from Jalen Schlegel. A chance for 3. As Josh Bryant just doing his best Juan Manuel Marquez impression there as he tried to lay out Jalen Schlegel.
Jalen's lucky he had Nate Sherwood behind him to brace him. You and I'd go down in a heap and get hit like that from Josh. A little excitement.
Or get hit with the ball,
yeah,
like
no
just
doubt.
happened a moment ago here. As Schlegel's free throw, in and out, no good. Offensive rebound, Chad Sherwood, and he is fouled as he put it back up. A chance for 2 more, as Jalen Schlegel could not convert on the free throw, but Chad Sherwood quickly to the offensive glass, has a chance for 2 of his own. Foul on Kedron Johnson. That's going to be his 5th, and he is done. So Kedron will make his way back to the bench. A disappointing night for the 6'6 senior, as they will take a minute here to determine who they want to sub. It's going to be Mather who will come in.
And he's upset, Ryan, and I'll tell you this. He is more upset about Chad Sherwood getting that rebound on the free throw attempt there than he is about getting the 5th foul. That was a situation where he just didn't block out, and it's his fault that Chad gets to go to the line here for 2. Great play by Chad Sherwood as he will shoot these 2 free throws. And Kedron Johnson gone for the game.
So Chad Sherwood, the senior, to the line here for a couple of big free throws with 5:41 to go. West Albany trailing by 7. Well, win or lose in this one, West Albany has showed very good fight against what you have to figure is going to be one of the best teams in 5A this year. Chad hits the free throw. One more to come for Sherwood. Brandon Dixon is back in. Josh Bryant will check out. Gets a big high five from Coach Zimmerman, applauding his effort.
Just Chad over at the scorebook, Ryan. Sorry, 22 points to this point for Jalen Schlegel in this game.
What a night. Chad Sherwood, second free throw. Bingo. A 4-point trip for West. It's a 55-50 Churchill lead.
I like this move. Brandon Dixon into the game here, getting some long arms, getting some length here defensively against the point guard.
He had a little bit of coast-to-coast pressure as Emmanuel Morgan got it to front court, gets rid of it to Malik Morgan. Back to Emmanuel. Back to Malik. On the left wing, Morgan, one-hand dribble. Wings it back to the right for Emmanuel Morgan. Touch pass to Malik Morgan. Now to Mather. Mather to the top for Malik. Malik to Emmanuel. 5:10 to go in this game. Churchill leading by 5. Brandon Dixon, arms extended, now guarding Malik Morgan. To the dribble drive, between the legs, backs it out to the arc. Fires it right for Andrew Smith on the deck. Put his head right down into Chad Sherwood. While they got rid of it to Mather, and now Chad a frustration foul as he hacks Jake Mather. Chad was trying to hold his ground. Andrew Smith just barreled right through him. And I think a little frustration on the part of Chad Sherwood, who then really took a swipe at Mather.
Yeah, it was great defensive position there. The referees chose not to call it, so be it. But then you can't compound it there by getting that frustration foul. Only 5 team fouls on the Bulldogs here. No harm there.
And only the second on Chad Sherwood. On the inbound, Emmanuel Morgan. Fake the 3. Drives inside, now kicks it out to Shedrick. Back out to Emmanuel Morgan.
Really good defense by the Bulldogs on that possession.
Sawyer Reed back out on Morgan. Lost the ball. It's loose right at the feet of Nate Sherwood, who didn't see it. And Emmanuel Morgan gets it back. Off to Shedrick and back to Emmanuel again. Emmanuel Morgan lobbing it underneath Shedrick. Too tall, out of bounds, a turnover. Wanted to throw the alley-oop for Shedrick and threw it over his head and out of bounds. Good D from Dixon.
Yeah, it really was.
Take a seat and Bryant back in.
And a little offense for defense here. Some might think it's a little bit earlier for that, but I think that's a great play. Bring Josh back in for some size on the offensive end.
Sawyer Reed gets it on the inbound. West down 5. Into front court it goes to Chad Sherwood. Chad down inside for Nate. Nate backing his way in, goes up, score it, and a foul! A chance to get it to 2 as Nate Sherwood gets inside, draws the harm, puts it in.
Boy, I tell you, he got bumped too, and he lost his balance as he went up, but still had the composure to put it up soft with the left hand. Great play by Nate. Under control, going to the bucket.
A chance to make this a 2-point game as Deshaun Brooks will check in for Jake Mather. Mather picked up the foul, his first. 4 team fouls now on Churchill. Nate Sherwood to the line trying to complete a 3-point play. 55-52 Churchill with 4:25 to go. Nate ready. Free throw on its way and good. Nothing but net on that. 55-53, a 2-point game, and the Bulldog students again come to life.
Brandon Dixon back in defensively here for the Bulldogs.
They bring a double up top. Now they back off as Malik Morgan goes left for Emmanuel Morgan. Baseline, Andrew Smith traveled. They're going to call a walk. You bet. He walked with it. And West will have it back with a chance to tie or take the lead. Shuffling the feet along the baseline. Morgan did not get away with it.
Sawyer Reed needing a little help here, bringing the ball up the floor. Tell you, things have gotten a little bit electric in here, haven't they?
Boy, as electric as I can remember a non-conference game here at West. Nate Sherwood out on the wing. Gives it to Jalen Schlegel straight away. Off to the right for Sawyer Reed. Under 4 to go in the game.
Got to play to win, not just to not lose. You got to play to win.
Josh Bryant pinned in the corner. Gets it to Chad Sherwood. High out on the wing. A lob in for Jalen Schlegel. It's tipped away from him. Jalen chases it down in the corner. Trying to spin away from Shedrick. Along the baseline. Lost the handle and had it stolen by Brooks. Churchill a big stop and they get it back with 3:35 left. Up 2. Emmanuel Morgan slows it down. Angling right to left across the timeline. Tried to hand it off and they're going to call a foul up top. They'll call this one on Josh Bryant. Little ticky-tack as Bryant will be called for a hand check. Team foul number 6 on West.
And how fun is that? You've got your 6'6", what do you think, 230? Postman trying to get over the top on a pick above the three-point line. That's just great hustle by Josh Bryant. They get him for the foul. Probably was, but a great play by Josh.
His 3rd foul, and West is at the foul limit. They're 6th. Churchill will shoot free throws the rest of the night. With 3:28 to play, the Lancers leading by 2, 55-53. Churchill led by 12 after 1. They led by 12 at the break, led by 7 after 3. The West has not gone away.
And how big is that bank shot at the end of the third quarter right about now?
Don't want to talk about it. Let's hope we're not talking about it in the postgame. Emmanuel Morgan off the inbound. Comes to front court. Hands it off to Malik. Over to Deshaun Brooks as Churchill wants to run a weave up top. Emmanuel Morgan. Left side, Sawyer Reed with him. Morgan on the dribble all the way in. Kicks it back out for Shedrick. Thought about a three. Jalen Schlegel with a good closeout. And Shedrick hands it back to Emmanuel. Emmanuel Morgan, left-hand dribble around a solid screen from Andrew Smith. Out to Shedrick, wide open three, dagger. And a little chest pound from David Shedrick after the made three. 58-53, 2:50 to go. A lob in for Nate Sherwood. It's through his hands and a turnover. Malik Morgan on a run out. Andrew Smith all the way to the goal. Sliding in, missed the layup, goes back up, has it spiked out of bounds. It'll stay with Churchill with 2:41 to play. And Churchill, who has come up with all the big shots at all the right times, just got another big one from Shedrick.
Boy, they sure did. West Albany trying to hang in there. Just a couple of breaks go their way. They're right back in this. Bulldogs within 5.
2:40 to go, needing a stop. Shedrick around Jalen Schlegel, all the way in, blocked and fouled. A questionable call, again, not going West's way. Again, it's Josh Bryant, his 4th. I don't know about that one.
No.
It will put David Shedrick at the line for 2.
My vow is to not be too critical. I'm not saying a word.
Shedrick's free throw is good. And Coach Zimmerman is pointing to the other end of the floor, and he's just saying call it both ways. Be consistent.
Yeah, and that's fair.
That's what you want as a coach, and it's so maddening when you get inconsistent officiating. That's truthfully the way it's been down the stretch. 60-53, Shedrick hits both free throws. West, another hill to climb, down a touchdown with 2.5 to go. West trying to beat the press. Bryant to Reed. They got to hurry here. Sawyer lobs it in front court. They get it across the timeline to Nate Sherwood. Inside for Jalen Schlegel. Backing it on Andrew Smith. Being harassed. Out to Nate Sherwood on the deck, and he's held and fouled. Do they say on the floor? Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be, and it's only going to be the 15th foul on Churchill here. Bulldogs will have it out of bounds on the side.
David Shedrick picks up the foul, his 4th. Now, a lot of different Churchill players have made big shots tonight. David Shedrick, the latest. A 3 and then a couple of made free throws to put it from 2 to 7 with 2:19 left. West will inbound underneath.
Well, they do give it underneath. That's a break for the Bulldogs.
Chad Sherwood to play it in. Looking for something. Got to get it in, and does up top. Nate Sherwood wins the jump ball over the top of Brooks, who poked it away and then lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with West. Brooks knocked it away.
Yeah, Nate held him trying to get to the ball, and then Churchill screaming for that foul, and they're absolutely right. Nate got away with one there.
Sawyer Reed will inbound. What a wild night. A lot of energy on both sides. Sawyer Reed gets it into Chad Sherwood. 2:10 to go in the game. Churchill leading 60-53. Bodies flying away from the ball as Schlegel and Shedrick both hit the floor. No whistles. Sawyer Reed gets it to Jalen Schlegel, who is slapped and fouled by Brooks. Brooks thought he had a clean pick and might have been going the other way for a tomahawk dunk. But he's called for the foul, team foul number 6 and number 4 on Brooks.
I tell you, they've racked up the fouls quickly here. The Bulldogs now will shoot free throws on any Churchill foul. They'll be in 1-1. 2:03 to go here, and the Bulldogs down 7.
Chad Sherwood again to inbound.
Spin and pin.
Looking. Got to get it in, and does, and has it stolen by Deshaun Brooks. Here comes Brooks all the way the other way. Inside to Morgan. Morgan had it blocked. No whistle, and then they're going to get a foul on Emmanuel Morgan. Well, Kelly Boken now can't believe it, as Sawyer Reed might have gotten away with a foul underneath. They get a block, and then Chad Sherwood trying to come away is held and fouled. The life of an official is not one I envy.
No, it's not.
No matter what you do,
like
somebody
this,
hates you.
You know, Ryan, these referees know as well as everybody in this gym that this is quite possibly a state playoff or state tournament preview. And we knew this was going to be this kind of game, and that's just how it is. These referees, I think that's why they gave a veteran crew to this game, and certainly they've had their work cut out for them all night.
Chad Sherwood for a 1-and-1. Missed the front end. Rebound Churchill. That's a big miss. It stays 7 with 1:48 to go. And Churchill, who's shown a nice ability to spread the floor, will try to do it again, and they're going to call a double dribble. A double dribble was the call. Emmanuel Morgan raced to the front court, skidded to a stop, and official calls double dribble. Okay. Kelly Hoken right in his face wants an explanation.
Yeah, he's getting perilously close here to getting rung up, too. I think probably with the 7-point lead and 1:44 to go, I'd probably tend to keep my mouth shut at that point.
Quick bounce pass inside. Jalen Schlegel. Jalen backing his way down, clearing space, goes up in traffic and scores again inside. It's back to 5 with 1:35 to go. Now, if West can get a stop, this is going to come down to a free throw shooting match here for Churchill. It's David Shedrick in front court with 1:25 to go. Bulldogs down 5. David Shedrick crossing over, got a step, goes to the corner. Emmanuel Morgan kicks it back for Malik Morgan. In no hurry to shoot. We'll see when West Albany elects to take a foul. If they do it here. They weren't trying to, but they will get a foul called with 1:14 to go. And free throws coming for Churchill.
And I'm not so sure you want to wait till under the 1 minute mark there. With the quickness of Churchill, they can spread the floor and they can dribble away from you very, very well. I think probably that's a good foul right there. Stops the clock, puts them at the line for a 1-and-1 here as Bulldogs have 18 fouls.
David Shedrick, who has been very solid from the line tonight, for a 1-and-1. Huge with 1:14 to play. Free throw up. No good. Rebound Jalen Schlegel. Bulldog ball down 5. 1:10 to go as Sawyer Reed pushes it to front court. Reed all the way to the right wing. Counted by Emmanuel Morgan. Real aggressive defense. Bounce pass to the cutting Chad Sherwood. Missed it off the window. Rebound Andrew Smith. I wouldn't call it a layup. It was a tough shot, but Chad missed it off glass. Churchill ball under a minute to go. Andrew Smith is fouled up top as he drove inside. Foul's going to go on Jalen Schlegel. Smith wanted to go in strong. Chad Sherwood didn't hear the whistle and made sure Andrew Smith didn't get an easy two.
And Andrew Smith then wanted to go after Chad Sherwood here. Referee stepped in beautifully there.
Boy, this is getting chippy.
Well,
you mentioned playoff preview. It's got a playoff atmosphere.
Well, and here's the deal, Ryan. This Churchill team, they go out to the early 12-point lead. They think they're going to run the Bulldogs out of the gym, and it hasn't played out that way. West Albany's played them tough. They played them with the same sort of arrogance and attitude that Churchill brought, and Churchill doesn't like it.
Andrew Smith at the foul line. Free throw good, and he'll get the bonus. With 52.1 to go, a chance to make this a 7-point game again. Andrew Smith had 18 in the first half. That may be his first point of the second half. It is. Looking for number 2 and gets it. 2 big free throws from Smith with 52 seconds to go. Back to a 7-point game. Sawyer Reed gets it inside quickly for Nate Sherwood. Through traffic, off glass and in, and a timeout here from West with 44.3 to go. We're going to keep it here. 62-57 Churchill. 44 seconds to play. A 30-second timeout coming for West Albany.
Smart play by West. You know, I don't know. I don't think, does West Albany have any made 3-pointers tonight?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do. And smart play that time. At some point here, it could be that you have to start putting up a three or two. But that time, smart play. They get it into Nate Sherwood. Churchill, last thing they want to do in that situation is foul. But they still had, at that point, the 7-point lead. Smart play to just kind of back off of him. Nate takes it up strong, gets the bucket. You get the quick timeout, the clock stops, and you get to set up your press here coming the other way.
62-57. The Bulldogs trailed by as many as 15. They've been as close as 2. Churchill made a little mini run to get from 2 to 7 very quickly. The Bulldogs have it at 5 with 44.3 to go. Needing a stop or needing some missed free throws, and they'll need help here in the final minute. But a valiant effort, win or lose by West, to stay in this game after getting down big early.
That's right, and sending a message to the rest of the state. And speaking of sending messages, I want to send one to my wife, Renee, who had her birthday yesterday. I wanted to say hi and happy birthday to Renee.
Well, I hate to say this now, but you walked right into it. Happy birthday to you 6 days ago, and to Jeff Kiter 10 days ago. Both of you having birthdays since the last time we broadcast. You tried to sneak it in. I saw that on Facebook. You can't hide from Facebook. Churchill tries to throw the home run, and it is knocked away, and they're going to call a foul. Chad Sherwood with a push, and that's the right call as he bumped Malik Morgan from behind. very nearly able to force the turnover, but Chad will be called for the foul. And it will be 2 shots, the 10th team foul for West.
Little surprised Churchill. I think maybe they got a little excited there, running out of time. Little surprised they went deep with that when they had somebody open here. Although the Bulldogs were fronting then. Bulldogs hadn't been fronting in their full court pressure the whole game. That time they do. I think it caught them a little bit off guard.
Malik Morgan's free throw around and off. No good. Chad Sherwood's foul was his 3rd. I don't believe there were any Bulldogs with 4 right now. As West won in a sub, Josh Bryant in, Brandon Dixon out after a brief offense for defense switch. Bryant back on the floor. And Malik Morgan, 5'10 junior, with 1 more free throw. Best he can do now is make it a 6-point game with 42.6 left. Free throw is up and in and out, no good. Rebound, Jalen Schlegel. Bulldogs with life, down 5, 38 seconds to go. Sawyer Reed pinned in backcourt, being harassed, and they're going to get a jump ball, possession arrow to West with 34.6 to go. Sawyer Reed was being doubled in the backcourt by the Morgans. Wow.
Bulldogs,
everybody wanting a foul.
Yeah, you could call that a foul right there, and maybe they should have there. Maybe that's the break the Bulldogs have been looking for. A lot of breaks haven't gone the Bulldogs' way, and Sawyer Reed's hurt.
Yeah, he turned his ankle in the backcourt. Josh Bryant gets it to Sawyer, trying to fight through. His pass deflected. Jalen Schlegel gets it back. Jalen at the top of the arc. Needs some help. Gets to Nate Sherwood, looking to lob it in. It's deflected out of bounds, but precious seconds off the clock, 19.3.
And I don't think Coach Zimmerman knows it. Looks like Sawyer's going to be okay.
And Sawyer's trying to battle through. 19 seconds left. Bulldogs down 5. Chad Sherwood into Jalen Schlegel. Up top to Sawyer. Knocked away by Emmanuel Morgan. He's going to win the race to the ball, and he's going to lay it in. That might clinch it. A 7-point game with 10 seconds left. And now a steal as Chad Sherwood had it knocked away, and Churchill is going to win. Emmanuel Morgan to Deshaun Brooks, and they'll just dribble this one out. Churchill will escape. Solid effort on both sides here tonight. A frantic game. 64-57. Churchill gets the win. We'll take a break and wrap this one up here at KSHO.
Just like the Bulldogs, Courtesy Corner Shell gives you everything they have every time you drive in. Fast and friendly service, windows always clean. Non-ethanol fuels for small engines, boats, and vintage cars available. You can't beat Courtesy Corner Shell near Queen on Pacific Boulevard. They'll be happy to see you.
Lynn Lanes in Lebanon, home of the best burger in town.
Good family fun. Bowling.
Open every day and until 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Ballistic bowling starts at 10 on Saturday nights.
Stop by Lynn Lanes in Lebanon.
Willamette Community Bank is proud to support local high school sports, music, and scholastic programs. Be part of the team and get behind our schools and our future leaders. With branches in Albany and Lebanon, Willamette Community Bank. Service like no other, we promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Taking a detour down a gravel road isn't fun for you or your tires. Luckily at Les Schwab, along with great prices, all of our car or pickup tires come with the kind of protection most other places don't give you, like free flat repairs and more. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
920 KSHO.
Well, back here at West Albany High School, Churchill has won the game 64-57, and as sometimes is the concern with two student bodies that have had so much energy throughout the course of the night. Student sections wanting to go at each other, very nicely diffused by Rich Engel, Brian Wadlow, among the West Albany group that were very quickly able to slow that one down. We've seen a lot of heated fan bases throughout the years. I'm not sure we've seen one any more heated than the Churchill group here tonight. At the very end of the game, a Churchill fan walked down to the front row of the bleachers and right into the face of an official screamed, "You guys suck." Now, I mentioned it's no fun to be an official, but they don't deserve that sort of treatment. We may badmouth them on the air from time to time. That's uncalled for, and certainly so, too, is the action of the Churchill players and students who tried to come after West Albany there at the end. And I'm not erasing any culpability from West. We don't know what took place.
Right.
But the bottom line, really, a nice job by Rich Engel and by Brian Wadlow, among others from West, who were able to diffuse that. Things like that can get ugly in a hurry.
Yeah, no question about it. And you just hope, you want the competition to happen on the court during the time frame that's allowed, the 4 quarters, and then let it go. And a little bit of hard feelings there as student sections want to do a little bit of battle and some hard feelings, some heatedness, but like you said, diffused and keeping the two groups separate now, and we'll hope that's the end of it.
Boy. I think from time to time we'll point out good sportsmanship when we see it. It's worth pointing out bad sportsmanship when we see it. And to take nothing away from Churchill, they earned the win tonight. They really controlled the game from start to finish. West Albany battled their hearts out to get within 2 and had their chances down the stretch, couldn't pull it out. But the actions of some of the Churchill students and the actions of some of their fans and some of their players in this game, truthfully, there's no place for it in high school.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. And I'll be the first to tell you when I am impressed by student body, when I think that in certain situations that students or athletes or coaches, for that matter, act with class. And this time we certainly can't say that. I thought I'm glad this one's over. And, really don't care to meet them again unless it's in the state finals. And that's, it's just sometimes you get a vibe. You get a vibe. Yep. I go back to when we broadcast the South Albany game over at Mountain View.
Yeah.
Same type of atmosphere, same vibe. And we know how that one ended with a brawl between the fans of South and Mountain View to no fault of the South Albany fans, right. and that was a rough situation there. So certainly, we'll just hope that everybody from Churchill makes it home safely and stays in Eugene from this point on. I don't care to see them again.
I find it somewhat ironic. This is the third consecutive year that West Albany has played Churchill. Churchill High School is located, for those who know Eugene, at the corner of 18th and Bailey Hill down in Eugene. Now, I live about 10 minutes from there. Maybe 15 if the lights don't go my way. And of the 3 matchups, 2 of them had to be here at West. So I get to drive an hour home, and Churchill and their fans get to drive an hour home. As the Lancers come here to West Albany High School gate, they get the win 64-57. Churchill ran out to a big early lead in this one. They were up by as many as 15. And West Albany, what impressed me a lot tonight, although the Bulldogs go down to defeat, the way that they battled. And they were able to get to within 2. Now, this is a Lancer team that beat Crescent Valley by 62 points, beat Silverton by 13, albeit, like you said, without Zach Gangler. But this is their 3rd consecutive win over a Mid-Willamette Conference team, and this is the most they've been tested.
No question about it. This West Albany team, they just – I'm not going to use the word vibe again, but they have this air about them that they step on the floor. They don't feel like they can lose. And tonight was no different. They got down by 12, and a lot of times in the past, you might have seen situations where West Albany teams might hang their head or panic. We didn't see any panic from this West Albany team tonight. I thought they handled themselves with composure. The turnovers that Churchill got off of West Albany in the second half were out of sheer athleticism. First half, I thought West Albany threw the ball away a little bit, maybe kind of lost their touch, lost their what they were trying to do. I didn't see that in the second half. What I saw was great athleticism that created turnovers in the second half for Churchill that turned into points. But what I think bottom line is West Albany did not beat themselves tonight. That yes, the turnover, the number of turnovers is going to show that West Albany, they gave it up too much. That's going to happen against Churchill. But really, Churchill, they earned this win in a tough situation, a tough crowd. They had some calls that didn't go their way. I know that probably quotes in the Register Guard tomorrow are going to say, boy, we ran into a tough officiating crew. Not the case. Yeah. Both teams struggled with that tonight, and certainly you can't point to that. So I'll just bottom line this for you, Ryan. As far as what I saw, this West Albany team's good. And this, because Churchill is so good, ranked number 1 right now in OSAA, you could expect when they came into your gym they were going to bring it, and they did. West Albany handled it well. I think they can absolutely play with Churchill. I think probably if West plays Churchill 10 times, West probably wins 4 of them. I think they're just that notch above West right now. But certainly over time, if West stays healthy, they will climb that hurdle and certainly could knock off Churchill down the road.
Let's hope they get another opportunity, because if they do, it would be in the state tournament down in Eugene. That will take place at Matthew Knight Arena, and that would be certainly a couple of months down the road. A lot to take care of between now and then. A lot of positives tonight for West Albany, as I've dwelled on some of the negatives. The individual performance tonight of Jalen Schlegel, I think probably the best game I've seen him play. His ability to move the ball, his ability to dribble the ball the length of the floor. And once he got inside, his footwork, he was unstoppable.
Yeah, and what I like is that the referees recognize that footwork and not travels. I think a lot of times, early on in Jalen's career, I think that maybe the referees didn't understand what he was trying to do on the inside. He's got so many pump fakes, so many different moves underneath. A lot of times referees haven't seen what Jalen can bring and end up calling it travel. He brings so much skill to that position that you almost feel that if he can get his hands on the ball anywhere inside the Bulldog, he's going to put it through, and certainly that's a nice feeling. What that does too in future games, as teams start scouting West Albany and they see what Jalen can do on the inside, they're going to have to double down on him. That's going to open up somebody on the outside, and that's where we get to the inside out. Feed it into your bigs, whether it's Jalen or whether it's Nate or whether it's Josh. Let them double down. Feed it out to somebody for a three, and then pop those from the outside, which West can do. So, this game will reap benefits, many, many benefits for games down the road.
64-57 is the final score tonight. Churchill wins by 7. This is a strange thing for me to say, but I'm actually kind of relieved that it winds up being 7 and not 6 or below, because I can think of 2 distinct plays in the game tonight that really gave you the feeling that West was not going to get this one no matter what they did. 2 banked-in threes by Churchill, one on the rim down to our right from the right wing, a wild angle shot that banked in, and then the Malik Morgan 3 at the buzzer at the third quarter, which really was maybe the play of the game. West Albany had gotten to within 4. They were on a big run. Malik Morgan got the ball in front court, had no idea how much time was left, but was right in front of his bench screaming at him. He turned, he flung the ball, and banked it off the window and in. That made it a 7-point game at the end of 3. Those 2 shots stand out in my mind, but even if you take those 2 away, it's still a 1-point Churchill win. So I can't harp too much on that.
Yeah, no.
But a lot of bounces went their way.
Yeah, that's right. And West Albany might have gotten a couple of home court breaks,
sure.
Along the way too. I think probably even Steven, as they'd say on Seinfeld, and we'll just call it at that. So West, a lot to be proud of in this in the loss tonight. I think they'll learn some things from it. I think they'll know now that they can play with any team in the state. No question about it. And the other interesting thing that's going to come from this too is now we know how Crescent Valley, Silverton, and West Albany have done against Churchill. It's Friday night that we get to, or Thursday? Friday night. Friday night, Churchill goes and actually I think it's Corvallis at Churchill if I can remember correctly. Pretty good barometer of what we can expect to see in January and February, I think.
Well, West Albany will return to action on Friday night. They will be up at West Salem High School. Programming note, we will not be there for that one, a previously scheduled vacation. I apologize. There was illness last week, vacation now. It seems like we're missing a lot early in the year. We will not be there on Friday up at West Salem. Back with you next week. Monday, West Albany takes on West Lynn. That will be here at West Albany. We'll be there for that. And then Wednesday, the Bulldogs will travel up to Liberty, and we'll be there for that. So double duty next week. This our only broadcast this week, but West Albany, a couple off days, and then back to work on Friday up at West Salem. Still have stats to take care of, so let's take a timeout. We'll come back, feed it to Jeff Kiter, and get final game numbers here as Churchill defeats West Albany tonight 64-57.
The mission of Now Builders is treat every job like it's their only job, no matter how big or small, and they don't stop until their customer is 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Check out their portfolio of fine work at nowbuilders.com. Call Now Builders at 541-926-2858.
Figaro's in Albany now has the Ultimate Super Combo and the Ultimate Super Meat, only $16.99 or $17.99 baked. Albany Figaro's in front of Fred Meyer. And ask about their gluten-free crust, 541-924-9303.
The short drive to Corvallis will save you time and money. This is Steve Buckner from Wilson Motors, inviting you to experience the notable difference at Wilson Motors, 5th and Buchanan in Corvallis. Check us out at saveatwilson.com.
Making life easier and more productive, that's what Lynn Benton Tractor can do for you. And it all begins by discovering how the full line of Kubota equipment can help.
We're still doing business the American way.
Highway 99E Tangent.
America's best music and the news you need. This is 920 KSHO, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.
Back here at West Albany High School one final time. Pleased to welcome back Jeff Kiter to the broadcast. He's got our final game numbers here. Things turned around a little bit in the second half for the Bulldogs, able to turn a 12-point halftime deficit to, 2-point deficit. Of course, Churchill pulls away. They win by 7 a lot of encouraging numbers for West tonight.
West Albany was incredible shooting the basketball. They shot 65% from the field throughout the game.
Wow.
50% in the first half, so obviously much better in the second half. Jalen Schlegel led the way for the Bulldogs. He had 24 points, also had 10 rebounds, so a double-double for Jalen Schlegel. Jalen was 11 of 14 from the field.
Wow.
One of his misses was a last-second three-pointer at the end of the half, so other than that, he's 11 of 13 from the field. So he just looked like he could do anything he wanted in the post position down low. And great job rebounding basketball, too. Also in double figures for the Bulldogs were the Sherwood brothers. Nate had 16 points and 8 rebounds. Chad Sherwood had 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 block shots. Cameron Dixon had 2 points, and Jesse Berkey had 1 point, and that was the scoring for the Bulldogs tonight. Again, they ended up shooting 65% from the field, 59% from the free throw lines, but the difference, 24 turnovers.
Yep.
Churchill, amazing pressure defense from their guards, and we just couldn't handle the pressure. But the way we shot, we take care of the basketball, it could be a totally different ball game.
Yep.
For the Churchill Lancers, they were led in scoring by Andrew Smith, had 20 points, 18 of those in the first half. And then Derek Shedrick had 18 points. And I'm assuming they're brothers. The Morgan brothers, Emmanuel and Malik Morgan, both had 7 points. Deshaun Brooks had 5. Mitch Reese 4. Jake Mathers had 3. Sherwood was 23 of 57 from the field, 40%. They were 10 of 16 from the free throw line at 63%. And they only turned the ball over 13 times. So, again, I would say the turnovers is the biggest difference.
Sure.
Otherwise, Bulldogs are right in this game. And is Churchill preseason number 1 in certain polls? I've seen that.
They're number 1 in the OSAA's power rankings right now. It's very early, but they are the number 1 team, and they had beaten Crescent Valley, as Wally and I discussed, by 62. So to lose here by 7 is really not that bad.
Yeah. So lots of positive things, and hopefully they can learn from. I'm sure they'll watch some tape and learn some things, and get after it on Friday. West Salem's another great team which they play on Friday, so it should be an exciting week for the West Albany Bulldogs.
That's right, and we will see you again next Monday.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Jeff Kiter with our final game numbers here tonight. Churchill beats West Albany 64-57. A chippy contest there towards the end. And again, my credit goes to both administrations for separating the fan bases at the end of the game as they wanted to go at one another after a game that really saw emotions fly very, very high. And my kudos to Rich Engel and Brian Wadlow. Those are the two that I saw really playing peacekeepers down there at the end. So kudos to them, and kudos to Churchill. They're a very, very good team. They get the win tonight. They forced the Bulldogs into 24 turnovers. It's still better than we saw last year in the game at Churchill. I think West was into the 30s.
Yeah, very, very similar, though, in outcome as far as the point spread there at the end. And you talk about separating two groups in the administrations. I'm just saying they're lucky they didn't bring a broadcast crew of their own, or we might have had to rumble.
There are a couple of groups that do games down in Eugene. Apparently they did not deem this one worthy here tonight, or maybe they just don't want to go up against us.
Yeah,
I really wouldn't blame them if that were the case.
Formidable task, I'll tell you that.
So we will see you again on Monday. That's going to be our next broadcast when West Lynn comes here to West Albany. That's after their game against West Salem on Friday night. We'll be back for that. We'll wish the Bulldogs well on Friday. And Wally, I thank you. It was good to be back here after a week out for illness. And
great to get the headsets back on and start this basketball season with you, Ryan. Looking forward to a great season with you, and we'll hope that you travel well, and see you next week.
Now, West got off to the 3-0 start this season with us not doing any broadcasts. I jokingly asked you the other night if Coach Zimmerman wanted us to come because the Bulldogs were off to such a hot start without us. Now they fall here tonight 64-57. Dare I ask again, should I go check with him and see if he wants us here the rest of the year?
Nope, he's got us.
Okay, he's got our back. All right. For better or for worse. Tonight, unfortunately, for the worse. Churchill wins 64-57 over West Albany. We'll see you again next Monday. Have a wonderful week. And enjoy Dozen Day tomorrow, 12-12-12. That's going to be the last triple day of our lifetimes. December the 12th, 2012. And have a safe one. We'll see you on Monday back here at West Albany. For Wally Ordeman, for Jeff Kiter, I'm Ryan Pitts. Thanks for listening tonight. Churchill beats West Albany 64-57 on KSHO.
If you'd like to do it yourself or need helpful advice doing it, your neighborhood Ace Hardware and Contractor Center can help. Economy Supply Building Center has been that helpful place for over 58 years. Economy Supply Building Center, where Highway 34 becomes Tangent Street in Lebanon.
Need some electrical work in your home or business, but it just seems like too small of a job to call the pros? No matter what the job, call City and Suburban Electric. Proud to be a contributing member of our community. City and Suburban Electric. Call 451-5609.
Lassen RV in Albany has the new RV models on the lot now, ready for you to buy. Lassen RV Service Department has a new truckload of parts and accessories on sale just in time for fall fix-up. From changing a light bulb to rebuilding your entire RV. No job is too big or too small for Lassen RV in Albany, where friends send their friends.
Join the fun at the Albany Athletic Club. Group fitness classes from low-impact dance to traditional circuit training, plus racquetball and more. Watch your waistline shrink and your health improve every day. Start now at the Albany Athletic Club on Hickory next to Tom's Garden Center.
You will come out a winner at Power Honda. Their talented staff will show you how easy it is to get the vehicle you want and the payment you need. Check out mypowerhonda.com. Call 928-0122 or just go in to Power Honda, Highway 20 east of I-5 in Albany, your Honda superstore.
Albany Burgerville is celebrating 50 years of serving customers fresh, great-tasting food with a mission to serve with love. Pick up a Burgerville card now and earn rewards cash for every dollar spent. See store for details. Stop by Burgerville after the game. Order a famous Tillamook cheeseburger. Open 7 a.m. to midnight Fridays. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market across from the Heritage Mall has Senior Day, the first Tuesday of every month. $2 off every purchase of $15 or more. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. 100% satisfaction guaranteed across from the Heritage Mall with bargains on the brands you trust.
We're Linco Federal Credit Union. Keep your money in Linn County with Linco Federal Credit Union. Enjoy a visit with one of our friendly staff at a neighborhood branch near you today. Linco Federal Credit Union in Albany, Lebanon, and Sweet Home. In Lynn, you're in.
Family owned and operated since 1979, Crabtree Auto stresses the small stuff when it comes to maintaining your vehicle. An oil change every 3,000 miles is a small thing now, but adds up to big rewards down the road. Crabtree Auto's ASE certified technician can help your vehicle maintain its reliability beyond 200,000 miles. Crabtree Auto on Hill Street, just south of 9th in Albany.
Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors. 4 generations in the auto business and here to stay. Mark Thomas Motors is big on supporting local events. 3 locations in Albany: Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Hyundai, GMC, Buick, Pontiac. Now is the time to buy a car at Mark Thomas Motors in Albany.
Unforgettable 920.
Thanks for listening to tonight's broadcast of West Albany High School basketball on the unforgettable 920 KSHO. Bulldogs basketball has been brought to you by Economy Supply Building Center, City and Suburban Electric, Albany Grocery Outlet, Mark Thomas Motors, Courtesy Corner Shell, H&R Block, Willamette Community Bank, Lassen RV, Les Schwab Tires of Albany, Lynn Lanes, Crabtree Automotive, Power Honda, Figaro's, Albany Athletic Club, Linco Federal Credit Union, Burgerville, Now Builders, Wilson Motors, and by Lynn Benton Tractor. Listen throughout the season for more exciting Bulldogs basketball here on 920 KSHO. This broadcast is exclusive property of Eads Broadcasting, Unforgettable 920 KSHO, and Ryan Wally Productions. U.S. copyright law protects this broadcast. Duplication or rebroadcast of any portion of this program is strictly prohibited without prior written consent. We now join our regular programming.